Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation. We will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Outside of high winds here in Avon, Ohio, it is a beautiful Friday for some college baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel as the 9-7 KSU Tuscarawas Golden Eagles make the trip up from Bowerston to take on the 2-2 OVCC Bulldogs. Hello, friends. Nathan, Smee, and Bryce Fisher on the call for you this evening, live from Crusher Stadium, a beautiful facility out here in Lorain County, might I say. And again, if it wasn't so windy, this is a pristine Friday in March for some baseball.
Yeah, it is absolute beautiful day out, but that wind is killer. It says that it's 40 degrees out, but it feels more like 20, maybe even 15. It's going to be tough out there for the hitters to get anything going just because they're going to feel the sting on their hands. Going to be a little bit adamant to swing. But these pitchers, they should have a real good day. We saw it from Cade Castillo last time. He could shove.
Excited to see him back on the mound. Pitched 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run of the bunch. 14 strikeouts on the year, 10 of which came in the last game. Was that a flash in the pan for Caden, or is this going to be more of the same for him? And if it is, how does he get an early start here when the wind is pretty much carrying the ball out to center field and to right field the way that we saw it last Saturday at Ron Model?
Yeah, I have a feeling that he just needs to get going onto these guys' hands. If he could be aggressive with that two-seam, running it onto their hands, he's going to have a real good day. Obviously, the wind blowing into his face is going to make it a little bit difficult. You obviously think that it's going to slow the ball down. It's going to actually increase some of that spin too, so you have more air resistance to the top half of the ball, so anything moving downhill. So if he has a good slider that he can work off of, that's going to play great today. I think he has a good opportunity to get a lot of punchies.
Let's take a look at the wind one more time here, Bryce, just to put it into perspective. If you leave a door slightly propped open here at Crusher Stadium, it is going to fly back open. Walking, you have to hold on to your hat. You kind of have to go downhill, get one of these kind of up and lineman stances almost to get through the wind. It's brutal when it's blowing at its full capacity.
Yeah, it sucks. It is a heavy, heavy wind. There was a lot of cars on the highway here at I-90 that were going side to side, getting blown all over the place.
That was me.
Yeah, I didn't. I just had somebody lose their front end, which wasn't great, but there's a lot of wind, and when it's gusting, it is gusting. I was telling you a little bit pregame. I watched Jay Bull send one over that scoreboard out there with the wind gust, so we've all seen what he can do at Tri-C, but with the wind here, that ball flies.
Let's take a look again at the field here real quick, Bryce, as it's a beautiful facility. You pointed it out when we got here. What is missing from the center field wall?
It is the batter's eye. They don't have it today. I'm not exactly sure why. There's traditionally... You see it on the left side of your screen there with you can see the open spaces in between. There's usually a giant black screen there. I think it's a wind net or a wind cage, whatever, wind screen. But it makes it easier to see. Traditionally, all stadiums have it, especially at the big league level. Colleges generally have it. You see a lot of these Frontier League teams have it. I don't know if they take it down in the winter. I'm assuming that's why it's not there. It just hasn't been put back up. I know the Crushers have started practicing. They're getting ready to go for their season that starts in about a month or so. They've played some inter squads. I've seen a couple posts. But it's weird to not have that. That affects the hitters a lot. You'll maybe get a little bit of glare off a car out there. There might be something light out there that the ball blends into. It could really affect the hitter.
And over at Schoonover Stadium, for those of us who either A, make the trip there quite often like I do, and I know you do, Bryce, or B, for those of you at home who tend to watch our broadcasts, you notice that they have that exactly the way it should be out in center field, and they don't take it down. Of course, they're playing right now. They started playing in mid-February. Of course, we had a fun time on the last Friday the 13th watching opening day across the board before Alliance Canfield, but it's a big deal, Bryce, and even just looking from here in the press box, I am seeing glare off the cars quite easily.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. There was a field down in Kentucky. I can't remember what it was, but directly behind, they have a white building, and it was just impossible. It was one of the best games I've ever pitched, and I don't know what it had to do with that. Maybe I was just nasty that day, but it makes a huge difference what the background is. You'll see a lot of times in facilities they have black walls behind the pitchers. That way the hitters can see a little bit easier. You don't want them to get spooked. You won't want them to get surprised. If they can't see that ball for the first 30 feet and it's coming at their face, they don't have a chance to get out of the way. So it's a huge advantage to the pitcher.
And the catcher at the same time. As a former catcher, if I have to look at the ball and say, hey, I got 30 feet to react to this thing, no. If you're pitching like that, I'm sorry, pitch. This one's going to the backstop.
Yeah, it's tough all around. Anyone that's looking towards the outfield is going to have difficulties. And especially the catcher, especially you even get some generous calls from the umpire because he might get a glare in his eye and be like, yeah, maybe that was catching the corner, when he truly doesn't know.
Let's talk about OVCC, the Ohio Valley Community College Bulldogs. Most times in broadcasting, we can go on the internet and find out a good amount about the team that we're going to cover, and the players as well. For really the first time in a long while, maybe even ever, outside of our Pete League coverage, we're going in blind.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can find on them, and obviously we were down there for a little bit talking to a couple of the coaches. Seem like good guys. I like it. I like their vibes. They give me a lot of WBC vibes right now, where you got a lot of energy, a lot of guys just chopping it up with each other, you know, messing with each other, letting each other have it a little bit, getting each other's grills. I like their energy. I like their vibes. Obviously, we can't find a lot about them, but I expect it's going to be a good game. I told you I got a good gut feeling.
And looking at it, I feel like that is the most fun that you can have as a broadcaster. Obviously, you want to have a bunch of information, and of course we do on KSU Tusk, but we're getting our pretty much first impression of this team, and it is going to be a raw reaction to the OVCC Bulldogs. If they knock our socks off today, all of a sudden you're going to talk about them in a higher sense than we talked about the CBF, the Cleveland Baseball Federation, last summer as that surprise commodity. Shout out John Carter over at Benedictine for the job that he did with them. Every season has a big story. Last spring in the area, of course, it was Tri-C putting JUCO on the map. Last summer, the Cleveland Baseball Federation having an excellent season all the way around. Just a great organization. Now we're back in the spring, and OVCC, they want to be the next big group that makes a statement in the season.
Yeah, they do, and I think they have a good chance to. I like where they're coming from. They got some guys from Florida, Texas, Carolinas, a lot of guys from Detroit, I heard, which I like Detroit baseball. They got a lot of good talent that comes out of there. Actually, Dante Nori for Team Italy had a really good WBC. He's from Detroit area. He played for the Philly Scout team. So I expect them to have, plus they got awesome jerseys. They got the cream dogs across. They're using Instinct as their jersey sponsor, which is the same company that Team Ohio uses. So I love it.
I look at these jerseys, and it screams Vanderbilt, and that's not just the V that you see right. Let's see, can I get it right? Other way, down. There we go. I had to trace it back on the screen.
Oh, I see what I thought you were doing a Disney drawing the bunny.
No, I'm trying because it's reflected. I had to go the opposite way that I need to. Yeah,
I see it now. Yeah, it's a lot, very, very similar. I think Vandy wears the grays with their cream top, if I remember correctly. I don't think they wear the whites. They might. I can't exactly remember.
And I believe they're the Vandy boys, correct?
Yeah.
These guys are the Valley boys.
Yeah, and they got dogs on there. So I like it. I think it's a nice take on their uniform. I think they look good.
Once again, going back down to the field as we are moments away from opening pitch here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup today for KSU Tusk. From top to bottom, batting first is Cam Schofield. He is followed by Caleb Salgado in the 2, Jeremy Paschett in the 3. And the cleanup spot is Cohen Larson, batting 5th, Jagger Ruther. In the 6th spot, the big man, Wyatt Bohannon. 2 home runs last time we saw KSU Tusk. And oh, by the way, Bryce, those were his first career and second career home runs, both in the bottom of the 6th inning. Owen Walter batting 7th, Caleb Campbell in the 8th. And closing things out, the 3-year player, 2-year captain, Braden Main, batting 9th and playing second base. And, of course, we've already talked about him a little bit today, Bryce. On the mound, it is going to be Caden Castillo.
Yeah, and he's a mammoth of a human. Actually, I forgot to mention that when I went up to ask him for the post-game interview, he is a big dog. I did not realize how big he was when he was out on that mound. He is a big human being. I imagine that extension probably gets the hitters a lot. But I expect him to shove today. I think these conditions are going to play heavily in his favor.
And now for the first time, we're going to get a look at the starting pitcher for OVCC. Aaron Picasso, a.k.a. AP, is on the mound today. He has pitched the most innings for this team this year. And my first impression, Bryce, it is going to be a high release point.
Yeah, I think he just didn't get downhill on that one. Didn't have a good feel for the ball. Maybe a little bit too loose in the hands. Not used to his hands being cold. Doesn't got a great grip. There he goes. Now he's back in it.
And he definitely does have good control. 14 strikeouts on the year. However, he is inclined to give up free passes. 10 on the year, 5 via the walk, 5 via the hard 90. He's allowed a total of 10 hits, allowing 6 runs total. That is second lowest on the team, only behind Angel Altuve, who has pitched 3.5 innings.
Yeah, and he doesn't look bad mechanically. Man, I'm looking at this infield right now. I love their infield. That's what I'm getting as a takeaway right now. Their infield is looking smooth as butter. But yeah, he looks like he can definitely fill up the zone. I imagine that he's going to do so today. I expect him to have a good day on the mound. I think this is a team that wasn't super trigger happy early on in that contest against Penn State Fayette. So I expect him to be able to work some good counts and just attack the strike zone.
It's going to be a busy weekend for both teams. You have 2 games tomorrow over at Conotton Valley High School, and then a 9-inning game. Point Park is coming to town to take on the Golden Eagles. It'll be a 12 p.m. first pitch over at Conotton Valley, a 9-inning game. Of course, Bryce, barring the weather, which right now it looks highly questionable, on Sunday, we'll be at Ron Model Field for Tri-C and Lansing Community College Baseball, which, of course, Lansing no longer ranked, but still a really good group out of Michigan. We'll talk about that one in a little bit here, but I'll give it over to you one more time as we will have the throwdown from the catcher, Laskowski. A key to victory for each team.
I think for OVCC, you got to fill up the strike zone early. You got to be able to attack. And then I think for KSU Tusk, you got to get out to a 2-run lead within the first 2 innings.
It's going to be tough today with the wind, but if you get a hold of a baseball here, Bryce, my goodness, watch out I-90.
Yeah, somebody put one over the batter's eye during pregame, and that was one of the more the wind was carrying out, but seeing that in BP was pretty impressive.
Time locally, 12:08. The first pitch is to the backstop, and we are underway with some Friday the 13th baseball. And, of course, Bryce, the big talking point today, this is the first March 13th on a Friday since COVID.
Ooh.
6 years ago today was the day that everything shut down.
Yeah, I don't like to hear that.
The 1-0, again up high for ball 2. That's been a big talk of the town as of late. But, hey, maybe we see some great swings over the right field fence, left field fence, center field fence. Doesn't matter where, as long as it's over the fence.
Yep. Right now for AP, I need to see him get over his front leg. He's very, very soft in that landing leg. Be a little bit more aggressive here.
Here's a 2-1. Tipped foul by Schofield. Schofield was a DH last time we saw him batted a little bit further down the lineup around that 4-5 slot. It was Cohen Larson who led things off. He is now going to be batting on the 4 spot. So basically Schofield and Larson have flipped places.
Yeah, I want to know what bat he's swinging. I think it's a combat.
The 2-2 misses up high for ball 3, and we are full. Going back to the approach that we saw against Penn State Fayette, the more reserved approach until the strike zone is established might be beneficial for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, right now with how this game started, I would agree so.
And that pitch will miss for ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard via the walk. Walk number 6 surrendered this year by Picasso, his 11th total free pass. And that is going to be a part of the growing pains with this organization. OVCC in prior renditions have existed. This is the first year that this group, under this branding and leadership, is competing together. And this is only game number 5.
Yeah, and they split so far in their season. They're 2-2. I think they have a good opportunity to get into rhythm, get into a feel of things. Curious to see how this goes defensively with the catcher and first baseman.
First pitch that time there for strike 1 to Caleb Salgado. Salgado, a senior from Nevada. He played 1 year at Yuba Community College, then this is going to be his 3rd year at KSU Tusk. So 1 year of community college ball, then made his way to Bowerston to play for the Golden Eagles. 0-1 misses up high, evening things up.
Yeah, be ready to attack here. Not saying he's going to be in motion, but this would be the time that I would expect a runner to be in motion here.
And we know Schofield does have a good amount of speed. Throwback to 1, not going to be in time, but I like the fact that they are going to work him. But you have to be careful. Any lollipop throw over, the wrong gust of wind, and that one is going to be in the stands.
Yeah, that one's going to be they recently extended the nets all the way down, so it won't be in the stands per se. There he goes.
And the throw down on the money, but it's just going to get past the second baseman. A great throw from Laskowski, but on the hop, too rich for Thompson, and that'll put Schofield in scoring position. And a nice shot there by Salgado, kind of turning the shoulder. He kind of expected to get hit there, I think.
Yeah, he stayed in the box real nicely there. Made sure he didn't interfere with anything. That's a tough one, though, up and in. It's hard to handle for a catcher because you want to have that clear throwing lane, but it's just a tough one to get to.
And if you're Salgado on the opposite end as a catcher, you know, hey, if I'm going to be in this spot, I have the right to the batter's box. Let me make this a tough throw for Laskowski. But still, he did a great job getting it down there. On the one hop, if that was caught by Thompson, there's one out right now.
Yeah, he definitely had him.
Bunt shown and pulled back, and he got hit. 12th free pass of the year surrendered by Picasso, and that'll put 2 on, nobody out. And that'll set up the big man, Jeremy Patchett. He wants a good gust of wind here, Bryce.
Yeah, he definitely does. I thought they were going to be getting the bullpen warm. It looks like they're just moving the tarp.
And again, we talked about it over at Conotton Valley High School. There is an on-field bullpen here, and if you look at Jeremy Patchett last time, went into stumble land over at first base. Has to be careful if another pop-up carries him over that way this time.
Yeah, he definitely has to be careful because he might end up rolling an ankle. This one's more in play for the right fielder and left fielder, corner outfield guys, just because how deep it is into the outfield.
First pitch is in there for strike 1.
A little breaking ball. I like it.
And it looks like a lot of the strikes that Picasso is going to get today are going to be on that inside corner. And as you said, jam the hands. He is trying to do that. The 0-1. Patchett skies this one on the infield. This one should be an infield fly, and it will drop either way. So there is out number 1 on the infield fly. But you also have to note not just the wind, Bryce, but also the sun.
Yeah, you definitely got the sun up there. And the wind's going to be messing a lot with these infielders. It is so tough. I love the windy days because immediately my practice plan changes in the summer because I'm immediately hitting infield pop-ups and seeing who can handle them the best because it is hard to handle an infield pop-up when it's super windy like that.
But this is the time that you see where your team is at in that regard. 1 down for Cohen Larson as he takes up high for ball 1. Cohen Larson wearing number 31, a freshman from Zane Trace High School. A .333 average so far, but even more impressive, a .471 on base.
Yeah, that's real good on base percentage. That's exactly what you want to see from him.
Especially given his speed in prior games as the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, he had quite a few bags, had a couple doubles last time we saw him. I want to see him get active here. Maybe even lay down a bunt looking at where the third baseman's at. 5
RBIs, 4 stolen bags, and a total of 3 doubles so far. The 1-1, it's going to be a double steal. Throw down to third is not in time. They threw wrong side. And that'll put 2 runners in scoring position. Another good throw by Laskowski, but again, you have to play that one back side, not foul territory side.
Yeah, and it just seems like he's struggling with the location of the pitch on these. It's really good pitches to run on for KSU Tusk, not so much for the throwdowns from the catcher, though.
Count out 2-1, a prime spot for Cohen Larson, and this one is popped up and foul. And it'll just hit onto the concourse.
Yeah, you rarely see balls stay in play here. They usually end up outside. You'll have little kids running back in like, Mom, Dad, I got a ball.
And I've done media here before, doing photography a couple of times. That's one of the best things about these Frontier League games and as well other minor league games is that one's up high. Swing and a miss from Larson. 2 down, and that's the first strikeout of the day for Picasso.
Yeah, that's what you needed from Picasso there.
And that'll set up Jagger Rutherford, the catcher. The junior from Blue Mountain Community College, a transfer in this year, batting .229 so far, 2 RBIs, but 8 stolen bases. For a catcher, he has plenty of speed. First pitch, trying to hit the top of the strike zone, not going to get it. And time is going to be called as the first baseman has lost his hat.
Yeah, it started running.
Looking at your defense, though, Picasso on the mound, Laskowski rounding out your battery. Backers over at first base with Thompson at second. Perez is at short. Hodges is at third. Bryce is dying to my right. Smith in left, Fitzgerald in center, and Sierra in right rounds out the defensive set here for the Valley Boys. This one's a pass ball, and that'll put KSU Tusk on the board. An excellent job reading it by Cam Schofield.
Yeah, really good job from Schofield there. That was the tough one that we talked about last time with KSU Tusk, where it's directly in line with the third baseline, so it's hard to gauge how far away from the catcher it is. But he got a good jump. He saw it through. Love to see it.
And that's a coaching thing. Again, going back to Coach Morozak and this entire staff, you have to understand, hey, it's a deeper backstop. How far away does the ball have to be from the catcher for me to go? And with the wind, can I run? As you've seen it so far with some of these throws. They're on the money. The tag's just not there. Or The tag's there. It's just the throw is not in the right spot.
Yeah, and so far it's gonna be who can handle the conditions better. As we saw another hat go flying in left field.
We need a hat counter today. The 2-0 misses up high for ball 3, and in the on-deck circle it is Wyatt Bohannon. He wants his 3rd home run of his college career.
Yeah, and honestly, if he elevates anything, it's going to be gone.
I think really if anybody does today, given the wind. Here's the 3-0, taken up high, and that one is there for strike 1. A lot of late calls so far today from the umpire.
Yeah, he's very, very slow about it, deliberate.
Still a runner at third here, 2 down. The 3-1 driven foul, and we are full. Couple of balls getting close to the upper deck where we are.
Yeah. I love that upper deck. It's awesome to watch games from up there. It's one of the few spots that's actually shaded in the summer.
I feel like where we are right now is even a great spot. Here's the payoff pitch. A good rip up the middle, and it's through into center field. It's an RBI single for Jagger Ruther. Make it 2-0 KSU Tusk. And as you talked about, Bryce, getting a 2-0 lead, that is a key to victory today for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, being able to keep the lead and extend it slowly as the game goes. But it's really about getting on them early. If you can get on a team early, it's one of the keys to victory. I'm not going to be 100% sure, but I saw it posted on Twitter not too long ago. The first team with a 2-run lead in MLB last year had a 76% chance of winning the game. So if you can get that 2-run lead early, you got a really good chance to win.
And it looks like we are going to get a courtesy run potentially, or he is just getting rid of all the accessories. It's going to be the latter. But he is the catcher, so I'm kind of surprised not to see it. He might have to go down there, touch the bag again, and then make the change.
I'm not sure.
This is a spot that you usually would run for your catcher. But again, Ruther is a fast catcher. That's an outlier.
Yeah. When you have a guy that could run, I mean, my backup catcher last summer was second on the team in steals, so.
And he's going to go here, but Bohannon fouls it back. And you see that get off on the delivery. He is quick.
Yeah, he is a good first step. He's able to put his right foot into the ground and begin driving. A lot of people don't like the false step per se. I call it a load step, where you're loading your shin angle to get downhill. I think either way, as long as you are quick and you are able to get there in under 3.5 seconds, you're good.
And I would have to agree. Throwback to one, not in time, but that was the right move from Picasso. You see it there, Bryce. That lean towards second base, and that is the Achilles heel of so many base runners.
Yeah, I mean, Acuna got caught doing that the other night for Venezuela.
Ruther goes again, and you guessed it, Bohannon fouls it away. It's just such a common thing in the sport of baseball that if you don't go on every pitch, the times that you do, the ball is going to be fouled away, or it is going to be some kind of dead ball.
Yeah, it's real common, especially if you're going without the batter kind of anticipating it.
Otia misses up and in for ball 1. Next inning for OVCC, Sierra Fitzgerald and Kasowski. 1, 2, and 3, 13, 1, and 67 up to bat in the bottom of the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Bohannon. Again, the runner goes, and surprise, surprise, it's fouled away by Bohannon. 3 foul tips this at-bat. All 3 times Ruther has gone.
Yeah, at this point, I'm thinking maybe let's slow it down, not have our catcher keep running. Let him get a breather here, maybe take a pitch off.
And that one nearly landed in one of the sweets. A little off to our right. Count it 1 and 2 on Bohannon. The pitch. Up high for ball 2. Okay, it's a pattern now. It officially is a pattern.
Yeah, and we got 2s here. I wonder if they do anything.
I think you do. I think, again, Ruther is going to go here. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd probably just not send him. I would.
He's going to go, and this one's driven into deep center field, still going back, and this one is going to get down in the gap, and that is going to bring in Ruther. At least an RBI double for Wyatt Bohannon. The big man wants 3, and he is going to get there. It's an RBI triple for Wyatt Bohannon. What an addition he has been for KSU Tusk.
Yeah, he's been a phenomenal pickup, being able to drive that ball, Oppo, into that right center field gap. I don't, with the wind blowing out, I expected OVCC to play a little bit deeper. They were kind of shallow there. I didn't expect that. He was covering good ground. That ball was just hammered, and it just kept going, kept going, kept going. But way to hustle from the big man. He was stumbling, trembling, getting all the way around.
He's a more athletic Danny Vogelbach.
Something like that.
He has been such a fun player to watch this season. And he has a chance to come around here with Owen Walter, the Hawking College transfer, stepping in.
Let's say it was a catcher for the Astros not too long ago who ended up leading the league in triples for a year with like 13.
Random stats all the way around. That time fouled back by Walter. 1-1 the counts.
I want to say it was Brian McCann.
Going back to catchers that are kind of slower. I'm sure you saw Bobby Witt against Mexico. I mean, talk about a great shortstop. And you look at Team Italy with Caglione and Pasquantino. The Royals are going to be really good this year, I think. The 1-1 pops up and down. But for those who haven't been watching the World Baseball Classic, I've watched it a little bit. Bryce has watched every single game, pretty much like clockwork. It is so good for the sport of baseball. Just like Four Nations and the Olympics have been for hockey.
Yeah, and I was right on that one. It was Brian McCann who had a crazy 11
That does sound familiar.
11 triple season as a big boy. But
Gotta love it.
the WBC's been electric. I mean, some of these games, the Nicaragua-Netherlands game was just phenomenal.
This is why you're the baseball guy.
Yeah, with Jeter Downs taking the lead, and then you get a walk, you get a hit by pitch, and Ozzie Albies absolutely sends one to the moon after Dusty Baker tells him to after Dusty Baker tells the pitcher to calm down. Ozzie Albies just sends it to the moon, and that was game. It has been so fun to watch.
And that'll wrap up on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The 2-2 from Picasso, and it's off of Walter. The second hard 90 of the inning, and that'll set up the senior Caleb Campbell. And Caleb Campbell, he has been a long-time Golden Eagle. This is his 4th season. I could be mistaken. I think he is the only 4-year player for KSU Tusk. So his 3rd year with Coach Morozek and 1 year in the prior regime, which is really impressive that he has stayed this long. But he has earned all of this success. From 9 wins in year number 1 with only about 11 guys on the roster for Coach Cole Morozek to last year with 15. You win today, you're at 10. And then from there, I think you could sweep the weekend potentially. If you do, 13-7. Entering next week, you have some road games coming up. Take care of business. Entering April, you could have 15 or 16 wins. And all of a sudden, Coach Morozek has done it again. And you'll get his history, Bryce. 2 travel organizations that have done great work. And we'll read out the bio here as there is the mound visit. Rostered by LSU Mercyhurst with full rides. And then Herkimer Community College, who finished 3rd in the JUCO tournament that year. Of course, the ACL injury derailed his career, but had interest from 56 D1 programs. He founded the Summit County Gamecocks, 151 wins in 4 years, Bryce. Continuing 2 years at Cuyahoga Falls, he won them their first ever sectional championship. 4 years at OSU Mansfield, that was his prior stop. Had a .345 batting average as a team, .961 fielding percentage, 23 bombs, and 64 stolen bases in 1 year, and also coached in an NCAA-sanctioned New York Collegiate Baseball League with the Rome Generals. And oh, by the way, founded the Ohio Tigers. That ball behind the catcher for ball 1, and that'll put Walter in scoring position as well. But in other words, Bryce, if you want somebody to build a program from pretty much nothing, Cole Morozek is your guy.
Yeah, and he's got the connections to do so. He obviously can find the funding to do so. He's done a really good job everywhere he's gone, and we need time because there's a hole in center field.
Oh! There indeed is a hole in center field. We're just going to keep playing.
I guess.
That time it's in there, 1-1 the counts. Gotta love the win. I think out in center field, Fitzgerald wants to call time to go fix it. We could see some really funky ground rule doubles.
Yeah,
That could be really fun.
Oh, it's closing.
The 1-1 in there for strike 2.
Hermione's just going to dance out there. Just having a good time.
I really hope somebody doesn't go for a ball and just closes at the wrong time.
That would be incredible.
The wind is playing tricks today. Count 1-2 here on Campbell. Again, it's low and in the dirt. Still 2 runners in scoring position, and in the on-deck circle, it is B-Main, another 3-year player for Coach Morozek. The second baseman is in the on-deck circle as the 9-hitter.
Yeah, and he's a real smooth second baseman. He's exactly what you want. as a second baseman, someone who's almost a guaranteed hand.
And a good drive into left center field. This one is down in the gap, and this one is going to bring in a pair of runs. Campbell is not stopping. He is in at second, and it is a 2 RBI double. Make it 5-0 KSU Tusk.
Yeah, there's hats going everywhere. Great piece of hitting, though, from Campbell. It's exactly what you want to do. Head stayed down. Top hand created the space by staying through. Shout out Tyler Mitchell for posting that the other day. Really good job. Really good piece of hitting there.
And watching it back on the replay, obviously some issues out in left center for Fitzgerald trying to fix that one. But that was just a great piece of hitting. I think even if it was bobbled, based on where it was placed, he was still going to come around to second base. If not, it's still 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, the bobble didn't change anything. Maybe it was the wind that was messing with him. Maybe glove isn't shaped properly. That's one of the big things I harp on my guys actually in the outfield, having their glove shaped properly. Because it changes a lot when you're out there.
First pitch blocked by Liskowski behind the dish for ball 1. But a tough start to the game for OVCC, but KSU Tusk has put things together so nicely as of late.
Yeah, they have. And yes, it's been a nice start for KSU Tusk, but it's going to be a tough one for Caden Castillo. He warmed up, got hot and everything. Now he's had to sit through. Oh my gosh, what is that coming in? Is that a piece of cardboard out there? A piece of wood?
It's something out in right field.
Something just came flying in.
And it's flying. That's cardboard. You can see it out in right.
Caden Castillo's sit for about 45 minutes now. It's going to be a tough one to come in and try to get hot, especially with the wind not being in his favor. If these guys can make a little bit of chaos on the base pass, this will be an interesting one.
And again, Castillo does have some control issues that he still has to work through. So this game is far from over. So a 3-0 count here on Maine. It's low for ball 4, and back to Camp Schofield we go. Something tells me the media day with Holy Name is not going to start at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I would imagine it wouldn't.
Of course, we'll have some footage from that later as well. Shout out to Mike Masetta, the head coach at Holy Name. He understands the situation here with this game getting moved up. He has been more than happy to work with us to allow us to change the time. Of course, we are contracted with them to be the official media partner, but he's making it work for our time, and I really do appreciate it from him. And I'm hoping we can get Cam out to Ron Model on the 27th for Holy Name Indy to open up the season. We'll be at Alliance that day. First pitch in there for strike 1. And for the Aviator fans watching, if there are any, of course, first of all, congrats on a great basketball season ending in the regional semifinals, a heartbreaker against Mansfield. But we'll be there opening day for baseball. I'm so excited for that one. On the 0-1, popped up shallowly on the infield, and it'll be caught over at short, and the inning is over. A nice job over at short by Gabriel Perez. And after 10 batters, the top of the first finally finds its close. But 5 runs to start the game for KSU Tusk. What a start for this offense.
Yeah, it's been a really good start, and obviously some of that was pitch control. Some of it was the conditions. I mean, they still can't close it out there in center field. They're trying. He is fighting real hard.
And to finish our train of thought here on Alliance, we'll have their home opener for softball on the 25th against Canton Central. And then on top of that, we'll have the baseball season opener. That'll be on the 27th at home as well at 5 p.m. But stay tuned as we will have our full schedule released very soon. Middle of 1 in Avon. It is all Golden Eagles in the home of the Avon Eagles. Up 5-0 on OVCC. Welcome back to Forefront Field at Crusher Stadium in Avon. Bottom of the first inning with Kent State Tuscarawas up 5-0 on OVCC on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. And the first pitch is driven deep to center field, and it's caught for out number 1 on a line directly to Caleb Campbell. But plenty of power there from A.J. Sierra, the starting right fielder today for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that ball was very well hit. Had good carry to it, a little bit too low. But KSU Tuscarawas playing a big outfield so far. Just looking at it, definitely bigger than OVCC was playing. I think they expect the wind to be a factor.
And looking out in left center field again, that door, it just wants to magically open up again. But a great start for Caden Castillo on the mound today. 14 strikeouts through 3 appearances. He wants to increase that number here today. And a lot of it comes down to control with aerodynamics and apparently earlier based on your great camera work today, Bryce, which we'll talk about that in a second here. But geometry as well. Is the lower arm slot going to help him or hurt him in comparison to Picasso?
I think it will probably help him, just being able to stay a little bit lower than where the wind is going to be coming from. Picasso being the higher arm slot, it's going to be coming downhill. The wind's going to naturally be forcing itself upwards.
And a good drive down the left field line this time, but foul.
So I think it plays it to his advantage a little bit.
And looking at just the way that we've seen the swings from OVCC, they pack a harder punch than KSU Tusk does so far. We'll see if that does change here. And another drive, this one off towards the left side in no man's land. It has a chance to get down, but it will be caught by Salgado out in left field for out number 2. And that is that catcher instinct, getting underneath the ball, tracking it in the sun. But with more room to run, it's just an easier version of what he does on a day-to-day basis behind the dish for these Golden Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier. You're able to come in on the ball. You don't have to flip yourself, get yourself orientated to where the ball originated from. He did a good job there tracking, though. I thought he was going to drop that just because he had the double clutch in the palm. But good job to hang on.
First pitch in there for strike 1. There's Tyler Kowinski stepping in here.
They got a Kowinski and a Lakowski.
The 0-1. Did you say in or out?
I don't know.
I think they're going to say both. They're 1-1 the counts. But we did get to talk to Mr. Kowinski before the game, and he says he's excited for the season, I think, as he should be.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I think there are going to be so many positives from this OVCC team when it's all said and done that you're going to have to look at those really and just say, hey, this group's impressive, and so is he, batting .423 on the year.
Yeah, he's definitely swinging the combat. I love the combat, man.
The 2-1. Poked foul down the left field line and right through the third base coach. Nearly a coaching fielding play.
What are we doing, man?
But I will say the coaching staff here for OVCC, along with the grounds crew and the entire staff of the Crushers, have been great to us so far today.
Yeah, it's a great staff there. They've always been really good. The Crushers have always done a great job. I've played here so many times just because it was team sports and perfect games fields.
And it makes sense. And as well, for those who watch our WRCL coverage, coming in June, NMC, coached by Jason Reitenbach, which is going to be a really good group. Of course, his team, we've seen plenty with Murphy Kelly and some other great talents, but they'll be playing here, and I believe they'll have Medina's own Lucas Pagura as one of their big pitchers. Medina is having a revival, and honestly, if they get back to Munson, I don't think they're going to waste that opportunity. Not that they did the first time, of course, given the circumstances, but I think they win. And we plan on seeing them later on in the season. Payoff pitch and a good drive into deep left center field. This one is going to get down, and it's going to be gone. A solo shot here for Tyler Kowinski, and that'll make it 5-1. I don't know how that one got out of here. Plenty of power, yes, but the wind, a little kiss at the end.
That ball was absolutely hammered. I did not think it was going nearly that far.
Well, watch it back on the replay. I thought it hit off the top of the wall. No.
Oh, it was way gone.
And, of course, the hill does play tricks, but what a swing from Kowinski.
Yeah, that's a good little 380 poke. That is not an easy hit.
And back to the action we go, but you know what, Bryce? The home run hitting parade continues. This is what?
11, I think?
I think so, because we had 8 and then 2. Home run 11, and could this be 12? Another deep drive to left field. This one is going to die before the warning track. and the play is made by Salgado, and the inning is over. But in game number 6 of our spring sports coverage, we have seen home run number 11. This time it is Tyler Kowinski. Got a hold of the baseball quite well and said hello to the hill. But through one, it's KSU Tusk in the driver's seat, up 5-1 on OVCC. Caleb Salgado able to close out the bottom of the first inning, gets us underway in the top of the second as you are watching college baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee. Alongside me today, Bryce Fisher. Tyler Kowinski got a hold of a baseball, and so did Caleb Salgado. Another deep drive to left field. This one is taken in for out number 1 by Smith. But man, as of late, the pop off the bat has been spectacular.
Yeah, and we talked about it early on that the ball's going to fly today. You got the wind blowing out to all parts of the yard. It feels like the ball's going to travel. We know that, and as long as both pitchers fill it up and don't allow free passes, there's going to be a lot of balls hit in play, hit hard into the air. It's going to be
here
who
comes
handles
Jeremy
it.
Patchett. You know, Jeremy Patchett, one of the biggest swings that we have seen in our time covering this team, and really just in general covering baseball in the area. He wants to get a hold of a baseball. He always does. And you learned on Sunday, Bryce, just why he had one of the heftiest swings in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, he swings hard. He is very much a hard swinger.
So far, 1 home run this year, 4 career so far in 2 years at KSU Tusk. As he did come in from Delaware Technical Community College after 2 years, a Maryland native buying into Coach Morozek's system here. And I believe I did see his dad Trace in attendance today. Always good to see Mr. Patchett and a lot of the parents. And as well, he did kill the deer that we had as venison burger on Sunday, which was great. And here comes Jeremy Patchett, another drive into left center field. This one is going to carry, and it is going to one-hop the wall. Patchett cruising on into second base. It is a one-out double for the Golden Eagles. You know what? His dad can cook with the venison. He can cook with the bats.
Yeah, he swung hard. He had a big fly there. Didn't have enough juice. It looked like it caught towards the end of the bat, but yeah, that ball's pieced.
Is it time to do an extra base hit count for today?
I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like we've had more.
They're definitely racking them up here.
That was only, I believe, the 5th hit of the game. Because the other one was an RBI single for Ruther. And with 1 down, that'll bring back in Cohen Larson. I posed the question off air, but I'm going to bring it back to you here. Could we see a combined 30 runs today? Is that preposterous?
It's definitely possible.
A hard poke down the left field line, foul, evening things up. Do we think that a college game, if we even cut it off at 7 innings, or a high school game, is going to be our highest scoring game of the year? What do we think?
There will probably be a high school game that gets ridiculous.
And a weird poke off into right field is going to get down for Larson. And Patchett is going to be held up at third. But runners at the corner, still 1 down. A perfect piece of hitting using the mind.
Listen, it works. If I'm coaching right now, I'm going, hey, man, it worked. Watching that, man, that was hideous.
It worked.
That was ugly.
Prettiness doesn't necessarily score you runs. Believe me, I would know.
I guess. I mean, a lot of times it works, but...
And Ruther, he's going to show bunt, but first a throwback to first, and it's not in time. And we will see some preliminary action in the bullpen for OVCC. That is going to be Tracy Hugh out in right field getting warm.
Yeah, southpaw.
Runner goes from first to second. Throw down is airmailed into center field, and Patchett is going to score from third, and that'll put Larson from first to third. He goes corner hopping, make it 6-1 KSU Tusk.
Understand the field. You got to understand the field if you're the catcher there, Lukowski. You're on turf. That's where you miss. If you're going to miss, you miss it on the ground because you got the turf to help you. You cannot sail that ball, especially with a runner on third.
Bunt shown again. It's going to get down, and it's going to go foul. But a great idea out of the box from Ruther. And, of course, with Wyatt Bohannon in the on-deck circle and RBI triple moments ago, I like putting somebody else on the bases, but I think you settle for a base knock here. You don't need to get really crazy because even if he does get retired for 2 down, Bohannon is going to smoke this ball. Or even if this is a walk, all Bohannon has to do is put this ball in the outfield, and you are going to see Larson score from third. The 1-1 misses up high for ball 2. And I think that ball is going to bring in a more patient approach here for Ruther. Or at least it should.
Yeah, it should. I don't think he's trying to put one over the fence or anything right now. I think he needs to be a little bit patient, just drive one opposite field. I'm looking in between that 3-4 gap right now.
The 2-1 smoked foul, and this one is in the second deck. And it is going to be in the second to last suite off to our right. But again, a beautiful press box set up here today, Bryce. Says this is our first professional press box that we're streaming from, I believe.
I believe so.
I'd have to double check that one. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss, 2 down.
I mean, outside of football. It's football. I mean, we got the high school press boxes, which are professional-ish. I mean, you don't have.
I'm saying pro-level team as the main home.
Yeah.
We haven't done not Munson. That would Munson. Does that count?
Munson used to host a single A team, I believe.
It's a tough one. They did. We'll think about that one in a minute, and as well Hall of Fame, but we haven't been there. First pitch up high to Bohannon, 1-0 the count, and of course in a couple of weeks with some big games coming up for Alliance Baseball. We want to be there for Berlin Highland and Louisville. At least Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville would be good. Drabik's got those guys doing well. You know, he's been through quite a few spots. I know he was at Lipscomb, pitched at Auburn, worked at Velocity, now works at Mash Factory. I don't know if he has a team at Mash Factory.
Yes, he does because his son plays for CVCA but was out when we covered them. Swing and a miss now, 1-2 the count. Yeah, that's the team because of all the injuries that at our quickest game, I think it was 56 minutes, they lost to Wow Factor.
Different Drabik, though.
Different Drabik, okay.
Yeah.
I know one does.
Yes. That's
it's a 15
I don't know their relationship, but I know Louisville's coach, Tyler Drabik, is related to that Drabik at CVCA.
Fair enough.
I don't know how, but and then that Drabik coaches his Mash Factory team, not Tyler.
Interesting all the way around.
Yeah.
And that's the fun inner workings of travel baseball. Bohannon swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Third strikeout of the day for AP Picasso, and the inning is over. Back-to-back Ks for AP, but still 1 run will score on a wild throw into center field. Middle of 2 here at Crusher Stadium. It is the Golden Eagles up 6-1 on the Ohio Valley Community College Bulldogs. Welcome back to Forefront Field at Crusher Stadium in Avon. Bottom of the second inning brings up Smith, Hodges, and Laskowski. 5, 6, and 7 for the Valley Boys, who, as we saw in the bottom of the first inning, Bryce, they pack a punch with their swing.
Yeah, they could do damage.
The question is, how do they go about breaking down Caden Castillo? First pitch of the inning, a good drive into left field, and the leadoff man is on. It's a leadoff single for Smith. A beautiful piece of hitting by the starting left fielder. And again, it goes back to that power. They have so much. You can tell this team hits the weight room, and that's just where you get those Vandy flashes. They can hit the ball quite well.
Yeah, they swing it really, really well. They got good juice. I mean, the rotational power is all there. They're very tight. They don't have long swings. It's very compact, but they get the barrel head out in front. That's what creates the whip. Getting the barrel head out in front with the top hand, usually the right hand for most righties, left hand for a lefty. They do a good job.
And here comes R.J. Hodges as we have 3 hats fall off at the same time. That is amazing. Put it on that camera, please. Let's get a left field shot. And you can see them running for the hats. I love it.
That is incredible.
It is so windy today. And then you look over at third base, you see Larson's in the shiesty, it looks like.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think, yeah, 1, 2,
I could never pull that off. I'm sure you
4.
could.
Oh, I used to do it. I looked good. That was nasty.
You're going to do it for a broadcast now, aren't you?
I was thinking about doing it today.
We're in a box. I'd hope you would not.
Well, I was thinking about it until I realized that.
Runner will go on the low pitch. Now a 1-1 count. Throw down to second is not in time.
That was a good throw, though.
Ruther nearly got him a great recovery, and I feel like that really helped him out where he pushed that one off to his left, because you come around the ball that way opposed to you come around the right side, and you have to readjust your body.
Yeah, it's way easier to go left for a catcher than right. I've seen, I think Bo Naylor made the play a couple years ago where he went to the right, 360 spin throw, and it was just incredible.
It's a different story when it's a passed ball and they're taking home, which I've had to do, but I think based on what I said there, Coach Fisher's quite proud.
Yeah, I was about to point it out, and you nailed it. Going to the left is always easier.
I mean, I played a lower level of baseball than you, but still, I still played.
Yeah, because if you're able to flip your hips going into the throw, it gives you a little bit of counter rotation, gets you back online. But when you have to step open, it just creates a little bit of awkwardness to it. It's not the most comfortable.
The 1-2 is in the dirt for ball 2, and again, he is going to get a free pass. That's excellent base running there from Smith.
That is great base running. That is what you want to see.
It's just enough, and now the question is, how far behind does this have to be for him to take home and do it all himself?
Well, I'm not gonna. Never mind. With two strikes, I retract what I was about to say. I was gonna say a push bunt to the first base side, but
yeah,
2 strikes, I'd rather not.
Here's the 2-2 from Castillo, and this one is poked away, and it is going to exit the building.
Yep, fought that one off. Real nice job from Hodges.
In the on-deck circle, it is going to be Dom Laskowski, the starting catcher. He has done a nice job so far, just needs to find some more consistent rhythm. And still plenty of time, as this is a 9-inning game for those unaware of the format of today's outing.
I think he needs to just understand the turf. Utilize the turf. I mean, I've had a few times that.
This one poked towards short. This is going to score a run. Throw to 1 is on the money for out number 1. A nice stretch from Passion on the throw from Owen Walter. But OVCC on the board in the second inning.
What I was saying, though, I've had a few times where on turf, I've told my third baseman to intentionally bounce the ball to second base on double plays just because it's a little bit easier to handle. Turf makes the bounce as smooth as possible. Utilize it, especially as a catcher. It's all the time.
I did. When
all
I could.
the time.
So here comes Laskowski. First pitch there for strike 1. But, of course, a lot of the home fields that I had, Strongsville High School, I guess the park in Strongsville, I'm trying to think of the name offhand. Kurtz Park, which is something I would not wish on my worst enemy. Point being, they're all dirt fields, and as well over at Victory Park. The only times we played on turf was League Park we played at turf, AOA a couple of times later on in my career, BW, and that's about it. The 1-1. Off the plate for ball 2.
Yeah, the best improvement for a field was the turf at the pipe yard.
Yes, I played on the dirt
so
back at the pipe yard.
needed. The mound got to the point where when you would go to stride, your back knee would hit the dirt because there was a mound in front of where the actual rubber was, and it was comical.
The 2-1, low for ball 3. After Laskowski, it will go to Gabriel Perez, the shortstop. But OVCC starting to mount their comeback here, of course, far from out of the game.
No, you're still right within reach.
Here's the 3-1, and this one is to the backstop for ball 4. And he might think about 2 here. Laskowski is going to take the turn, and I think the right move there is staying at first base, and that's exactly what he does. But I'll put one on here again for Perez. And given the swings that we have seen today for the Bulldogs, they could easily cut away and make this one competitive again.
Yeah, I definitely think they could. I mean, obviously, Perez is a little bit thinner. He doesn't got the size, but I didn't think Kowinski was that big, and he sent one to the moon.
Again, the wind will definitely help with that today. Castillo throws back to 1, right on the money, but not in time. But that's where you want to lead your first baseman. And it also helps out in this case that Patchett is a righty with that left-hand glove. Based on that scenario, can easily just put the glove right down.
Yeah, I thought he used the newer form of holding last time. I could have been wrong. Maybe that was Penn State's guy. The new form for righties that we have a lot, especially at the college level, they've been doing it, is where you position yourself off the bag, kind of as if you just popped off. That way you can lay the tag with your hand going back, catch it a little bit deeper. The only thing is you kind of have to guess as to where the runner actually is. I don't hate it. I give it up to my guys. I let them choose. Great frame there.
And that really does help out making it 1-1.
That was beautiful. But I give them the choice. It makes yourself a bigger target. You're not as thin and compact, but it's just a little bit more awkward when trying to lay the tag.
Throwback again to 1, not in time. And if you are Laskowski over at first base, you got to get those feet down on that dive. He nearly got rung up there because of where that foot was. Patchett didn't have to move.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You don't ever want a scorpion.
Spider-Man. You just got to go straight out. The 1-1, a good drive into left center field, and it is down for another base knock. The third of the day for the Valley Boys, and they want to turn this one into a double, and they will. Speed and power both kill equally today for the Bulldogs.
I love that. You saw he was getting in center field. He was going slow to the ball. Campbell out there. You got to hustle to that ball. Get to it. Throw it in. Don't jog. You can't expect them to be complacent. I saw that with one of my guys, Garrett Hilkert. Great job getting your first varsity knock, but the guy at second base was complacent staying at second base. Get your butt to third so Garrett could get to second. He had to hold up. He had a century of time to get to second base and didn't. But
here comes Tommy Thompson, a heavy swing, 0-1 the count. But again, I think a lot of people, especially those who haven't seen this team, I think we thought it, okay, this one is going to get ugly quick. Not at all.
Yeah, I had a good feeling. I thought this was going to be a good game, and so far it has been. I like the way that OVCC's swinging it. They got some good swings.
And I think a lot of that comes down to this coaching staff as they have went out and found their guys, even in basketball and football. They went out, found their guys. Their football team beat Mount's JV team to close out the season. That's how good these guys are. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Mount's JV team is the best JV team in the country. I'm not. But there's still plenty of talented guys that in 2 or 3 years are going to be varsity starters for the machine.
Yeah, are we the machine anymore? I mean, we lost.
We're not commenting. The 2-1 in there for ball 3. I'm cutting you off there. I have to cut you off there for that one.
I got to tell you this story. I went to a game, Benedictine versus Bay, right down the road, actually. Off
Football
that
or baseball?
Huh?
Football, baseball.
Baseball. Because I was watching my guy get his first varsity start.
3-1. It's there for strike 2, and we are full. But where's that game at? Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a weird field setup.
Oh, I hate it. Don't get me started on that right field wall.
Yeah.
I'll give you 1 second. We'll let this one play out here, and then I'll go back to you. The payoff pitch, a good drive into left center field. It has a chance to get down, and this one is caught in center for out number 2. Both runners will tag up, and both are safe. It's a sac fly for Tommy Thompson, making it 6-3, and back to the top of the order we go.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting there. That's how you do your job.
Back to you.
I was wearing a Mount Union shirt, and this guy comes up to me. He goes, "Mount Union, eh?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, remember when you guys were the machine, and now you lose to John Carroll? What are you?" I was like,
Was it a Benedictine or a Bay fan?
it was just some random guy. He didn't even have a shirt on. He was walking his dog.
The reason why I mention that is John Carroll is the host side of Benedictine.
I don't know what I mean, we were at Bay. We were right. He was just walking his dog. He lived in the neighborhood behind their field.
Mm-hmm.
He was walking his dog. I was
Varsity
standing,
field, right? Not
Yeah.
the freshman field.
No, their varsity field. I was standing back there and goes, "Hey, Mount Union, huh?"
And I got to ask you, what are your thoughts on the short portion right? Because that loss is a varsity game a few years ago because they just poked it over. It was a 320 home run. It was the cheapest thing ever. And our varsity was very sour on that entire drive back to Parma Heights. We
I
also
mean,
lost by 15 to their freshman team.
It's an okay field. I mean, have you ever seen you definitely haven't, Hoover's freshman field?
I've never seen their varsity. I've seen pictures of the varsity.
No, their freshman field, it's 260 everywhere.
Oh, that sounds fun. First pitch going to be... I don't think he signaled it, so I'm assuming
think
ball.
It's a ball.
Which looks good from here.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's 260 everywhere. And it's a 20-foot fence. But we've seen a couple 280-foot home runs there.
Sounds lovely. Now a 2-0 count here on Sierra, who had a great drive to begin the bottom of the first inning, but caught out in center by Campbell. This is where the power comes back in. You get one more home here, make it 6-4 entering the third. The pressure is again on KSU Tusk. Swing and a miss, chasing the high heat for strike one.
He wants it. He's
and on a
nodding.
2-0 count, that's when you have to be more cool, calm, and collected.
I don't disagree, but I love it. I love the energy right there. He's nodding. He wants this at bat. He was nodding at Castillo saying, "Give it to me."
I love it.
I love it all day.
Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss. We are even. The gamesmanship here. The game within the game. That's what makes baseball such a fun sport to watch. And to call, for that matter.
Yeah. And this is one of the times as a pitcher I would have been like, all right, you want to go? You're getting fastball as hard as I can. I'm strutting off this mound.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Castillo's pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the inning is over. Caden Castillo staring down Sierra. Gets him to chase 3 times in a row. And he gets his first strikeout of the day. But still 2-run score for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second. To the third we go in Avon. 6-3. It's the Golden Eagles taking flight on SmeeSports. To the third inning we go here at Crusher Stadium in Avon. The center field fence is closed for now. The wind is still blowing. And we have a combined 9 runs through 2 innings, averaging 4.5 per frame. It's been a fun one so far. First pitch of the inning, chopped towards short, scooped up in the hole by Perez. His throw on a bounce is behind. And that'll put the leadoff man on, but a great cover by Laskowski coming from behind the dish to pick it up in right field as the catcher.
I was really surprised this summer when talking with my catchers that they'd never been taught to chase the runner down the line.
I was taught that.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the first things that you would be taught as a catcher. That's exactly what you want from your catcher, though. You want to chase that runner. You want to be exactly on his butt. We see it from Diddy all the time at Tri-C where you have an opportunity to get that ball, and maybe you can catch a runner taking too big of a turn.
And I agree with that. Picasso stays on the mound. Bunt right back to the pitcher. His throw to 1 is on the money. 1 down. But a very beneficial bunt from Campbell, putting run number 7 in scoring position for the Golden Eagles. 2 pitches, 2 pieces of contact.
Yeah, PFP. Love it.
And that'll bring up Braden Main, the second baseman. He walked his first time up. And if this is not a walk, knock on wood for Picasso's sake, this would be his first time through the order without a free pass. Of course, the first time had plenty. So far, 8 up, 0 free passes.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's how you keep games intact, and you could see the difference between the first inning and the second inning, 5 runs to 1 run. If you force the action, you force the issue upon a team, it's hard for them to take issue. I mean, baseball is a tough game. You're a Hall of Famer if you go 3 for 10. Like, if you succeed 30% of the time, you're going into Cooperstown. It's not an easy game.
Especially for those who easily get in their head. And I'm sure you've had your teammates like that, and I know I have as well, as time is called here for a mound visit. But the mental side of the game of baseball, it is brutal if you don't know how to deal with it the right way.
Yeah, it's tough. And there's a lot of guys that I have on my team that sometimes when they get into their own head, they don't do as well. And there's certain ways to approach each of them to get them out of their own heads, but it's crazy on all levels where you've guys that can get so I mean, Greinke tried to quit baseball and become a garbage man because he was so stressed out when pitching.
And he's an all-time great.
And he's a legend.
I'm out of my pitching game after Zach Greinke's ephus. The 1-1 hits him. Of course I had to jinx him, unfortunately. I do feel bad, but nearly got that whole time through with no free passes, but right back to it. He has to be careful here. Yeah. Now you put 2 on, 1 down. You go back to the top of the order, who has been really good so far today. Keep it in the infield, a ground ball, and you need that defense to really get a big play.
Yeah, and speaking of Greinke, now I kind of say it, Picasso, AP's kind of looking like Greinke here. Just kind of
I see it.
The loose jersey, the tight throwing motion.
I do see it as he is back to his best. Strike 1 there.
And number 21. Maybe that's why it was in my head.
No, I see it. I really do. Looking at it, if I'm squinting, I do see Mr. Greinke.
Maybe that's why the story was in my head, though. I was subconsciously seeing Greinke.
The 0-1, a good drive into center field. That one's down, and that could bring in a run. They are going to send Walter home, and he is in there. It's an RBI single for Cam Schofield. Make it 7-3, KSU Tusk.
Yeah, it was the right decision there to go for 3. Hold the runners, keep it first and second. Chance at a double play ball still.
But another beautiful rip. That'll be hit number 6 today for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, good backside swing there.
Fluid motion directly into center field. Fitzgerald, not enough time to get around, but still, Walter, excellent speed. Everything coming together quite nicely here for KSU Tusk. And as we go right back to the action, caught over at second base on a line, 2 down. A nice snag by Tommy Thompson.
Yeah, it was a real good catch there. Because we got more hats going everywhere. Sorry, I started watching the hats.
And I think that one was interrupted by the replay.
Yeah.
Unfortunate there, but that'll bring up Jeremy Patchett. 2 on, 2 down. So far in every single half inning that we have seen, there has been at least 1 run. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive now that I think about it. That's not a typical thing to see, especially when it's been pretty explosive so far. It's a lot of extra base hits, hard hit baseballs.
First pitch to Patchett, low and in there for strike 1. I don't hate it, but at the same time, if you get one at the bottom of the strike zone that Patchett wants, swing and a drive, gone.
Yeah, Santa Maria.
You have to be careful with a guy like Jeremy Patchett. And another one very risky, now 0-2. I'm really surprised to see him hang up on that one and just let it go by.
Yeah, I think he saw a breaking ball early out of the hands. I think he thought it was going to end up further away than it did.
And after Picasso, I elevated here on the 0-2. We'll see if he does. Same spot, just inside for ball 1. But another beautiful placement.
No, I agreed with you there. I would have elevated probably up and away, too, just knowing Patchett's swing.
Worst comes to worst, he's just going to foul it off right into your bullpen. Picasso's 1-2. Runners are in motion, and they are both safe. The lead runner went on time. The back one went on a delay, and that'll put 2 in scoring position.
That's what I don't want to give away my secrets, but I generally have my catchers go for the trail runner.
And Patchett skies this one on the infield, going towards left field, and it is going to get down. It's dropped by the shortstop, and 2 runs will score. Perez couldn't bring it in, his second error of the inning, and this one brings home 2.
That's such a tough one. That's one that you like your left fielder to take, but you also understand that's such a long run for your left fielder. Good job for Perez. That's his ball. It definitely is. But it's just a tough situation there as we're going to have a mound visit and a pitching change.
And that is going to bring on Tracy Hugh, number 2. And as he warms up, we will step aside. The Golden Eagles taking flight yet again in the third, up 9-3 on the Bulldogs. Time now for the call to the bullpen as Tracy Huff, wearing number 2, is going to step onto the mound here. 2 down, already 3 runs have scored for KSU Tusk as the Golden Eagles find themselves up 9-3 on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. What a day for the Bats. They combined 12 runs thus far. And the first pitch from Huff will miss inside. It'll be Larson stepping in first. And next inning, it's Fitzgerald, Kowinski, and Becker. 2, 3, and 4 for OVCC. Still plenty of time, of course, as you can see the sun playing tricks on the diamond. But the offense, it has been here and then some for both teams.
Yeah, it's definitely been here today. You got a good chance to keep it going.
Again, we go back to that question. Are we going to see 30 combined?
I think 20 is more likely.
We're already at 12, just to put it in perspective here. The 1-0, well up high for ball 2. And the question is, how much of a 2-out rally can we see here for KSU Tusk?
I mean, I don't think we're going to see one. I have a feeling here that we're going to get a ground ball within the next 2 batters to the third baseman.
Calling out the shot here. Patchett, he is going to go. Throw down to second is on the money, and they got him, and the side is retired. A hose from behind the dish for Laskowski, and the inning is over. Finally got that rhythm that we've been looking for, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good throwdown right there.
Jeremy Patchett, not necessarily the fastest guy, but plenty of stolen bases. So far this year, he has 8. But that'll put away the honorable mention All-American from last year, and that'll send KSU Tusk back out for some defense. But a strong top of the third inning in Avon, plating 3, 9-3 your score on SmeeSports. OVCC looking for a rally in the bottom of the third inning, down 9-3 to KSU Tusk, as you are watching college baseball here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. And again, outside of the wind, a beautiful day for baseball in Avon. First pitch missing low for ball one. This inning for the Bulldogs, it is going to be 2, 3, and 4. Fitzgerald, Kowinski, and Becker due up.
Yeah, I think they got a good opportunity here to put a few runs on.
1 run in the first, 2 in the second. You fill in the blank there, Bryce.
I think 3 in the third.
That's the pattern they want to establish. And of course, that would just match what KSU Tusk did in the top of the frame.
Pattern I like is just wins. Whatever it takes to win.
Here's the 1-1. Chopped foul, count now 1-2. But you got to keep the scoring going. This is your biggest deficit of the day, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's not out of reach still. I mean, we're only in the bottom of the third here. You got a chance to put on a few more and even cut down the lead. So both teams got an opportunity to make this a real good game.
And I think it will be when it's all said and done. Here's the 1-2 from Castillo, and that one is in the dirt. Count now even 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, go fastball up here.
Could easily do that here. And I feel like we've seen a lot of those pitchers as of late be afraid to bring that high heat. Castillo, he did it on the last at-bat, but both guys for OVCC in the past for KSU Tusk and even Tri-C and Kellogg, a lot of high heat being avoided so far.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on your pitch arsenal, though.
Here's the 2-2 from Castillo. Hard grounder hit over towards second base. Braden Main picks it up. His throw to 1 is true. 1 down, and it appears that Larson has lost his hat along with the shortstop Walter.
Yeah, a lot of your pitch selection comes down to your pitch design. So depending on what kind of pitches you throw, like a lot of guys are from like a high 3/4 slot don't like to go up because it generally rides in and it'll likely hit somebody. Plus, it's also going to end up falling towards the top of the zone, and it's easier to hit.
So here comes Tyler Kowinski, going back to the bottom of the first inning, Bryce. A beautiful swing out to left center field, and he left the park.
Yeah, he absolutely smoked the ball. And, yeah, that's about all I got to say. He destroyed that baseball.
On the 1-0, takes it in there for strike 1.
This would have been one of the situations that, as a coach, I would have jogged over and I would have said, hey, man, you're not going to see another fastball the rest of the day.
Or the rest of the series, for that matter, as these guys will play again tomorrow. The 1-1 misses, or no, it's going to be in there for strike 2. But another 4-game weekend for KSU Tusk. The season's going by quickly.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that in a month and a half, we're talking about postseason tournaments for college baseball. It feels like they haven't even started it. Of course, part of that's just because high school hasn't. Here's the 1-2 from Castillo. Skied by Kowinski. Playable off towards the right side. Patch it underneath it. Makes the play for out number 2. And that time, no mound to trip him up.
Yeah, I bet he's thankful that there's not a mound there this time. Because we got more hats. They're going everywhere, man.
I think they're glad they're not playing at Conotton Valley today, because if one gets over the fence, it's going to be in the creek, and you are not getting that one back.
Yeah, you're not going to find that. I know those guys are still looking for it when we were packing up. I don't know why. I would have just been like, yeah, all right, that ball's gone.
We knew where it was, too. It was in the water.
Yeah, we got the first one. We'll leave the second one.
The first one was his first career home run, too, which that was the one that mattered, as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Mason Becker. The first baseman 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field his first time up. Castillo's pitch off the plate for ball 1. But he has settled in nicely in the bottom of the third inning. If he can blank the Bulldogs right now, that would go a long way for winning this game.
Yeah, it would be huge.
The 1-1 skied back, and this one, I think it just cleared the ballpark.
Yeah, it did. It's gone.
Polish home run, as some might say.
Yeah, man, have you ever seen Finnish baseball?
No.
It is incredibly entertaining.
Castillo trying to get out of this inning. The 1-2 swing and a miss, and the side is retired. A sword for Caden Castillo. His second strikeout of the day retires the side in order. Through 3 in Avon, it's the Golden Eagles once again in the home of the Eagles, soaring above the Bulldogs of 9-3 on SmeeSports.
clipped his elbow pad. So he's going to be getting first base on a hit by pitch.
And it appears we did have a quick hit here. We do apologize. Try to get back on the air here in a second. It's odd.
So now we have Reuter coming up. I expect Larson to be in motion here. I would probably expect him to be going on one of the first 3 pitches. He's got a sizable lead over there. It's ball 1.
And there we go. We should be back. For some reason, the Ethernet just turned off.
That makes sense. Is it going to do the fill in the blank thing? Or YouTube, like whatever you said, stitches it back together or something?
I don't know.
It's a surgeon?
I don't think so. That's a weird one. We do apologize for that, folks. As I think you remember the last time
There
that
it goes.
happened, as the runner will go. Throwdown is on the money on the 1 hop, and he is safe. Barely in there.
Ooh. I couldn't tell, just from this angle, I couldn't tell if it was the swim move that made his hand come off or if the tag pushed his hand off, but I think he's got a good argument there at second base. But I was on the money on that one. I said he was going to be stealing within the first 3 pitches. Third pitch, he goes.
So here comes the 2-1, and it's in there. We are even. But the last time that happened, Royalton shut off the Ethernet.
How rude.
I think that was just a glitch in it. It's weird because now it's back. It's weird. Technical difficulty. Here's the 2-2. A good drive into right field, and Reuter has it down, and this one is going to the wall, and that is going to bring in run number 10 of the game. Reuter, he might have a Little League home run. They're going to send him all the way. Reuter trying to go all the way. The play at the plate is not in time. It's a Little League home run for Jagger Ruther.
Wow.
What hustle all the way around the bases.
That was a clean one, too. No errors. That was a great diving attempt from right fielder. Good chance to get that ball. It was really impressive from Sierra going after that. Good hustle all the way to the wall. Pretty good relay, too. I mean, the relay was on money. It was on point.
Absolutely love that hustle.
What a job.
Well, Bryce, did you expect a Little League home run today?
I did not. That was pretty good.
And so now that's going to bring up Wyatt Bohannon, who has a chance to do the actual home run here. First pitch into Bohannon is going to miss inside for ball 1. But for those just tuning in, the sky is just absolutely opening up here for KSU Tusk.
Yeah, it's dancing.
That time up high for ball 2.
They got rhythm in the dugout. Saw hips moving.
And this is where this team really needs to sit. Just all together, doing everything right, and they can win some games.
As we get a strike there, high and outside. It's not the one Bohannon wants, though.
Count out 2-1, and he has all the time in the world here. Realistically. Here comes the 2-1. Low, and we now have a 3-1 count. In the on-deck circle after Bohannon, it goes to Owen Walter. Bohannon chops it down the third base line. Throw across the diamond to 1. Is on a 1-hop, not in time. It's going to bounce off of him. And that'll put Bohannon on at first base. That'll be an E5 that time. And still nobody out.
It was a good job from Hodges to create space there. You want to create space, work back on the baseball. That way you don't get caught in between. Flipped his hips. Got to put a little bit more mustard on that throw to get it there. But also, for the first baseman, Becker, you got to create space for yourself. You can't go towards the ball when you can't reach to it. If you can't reach the ball, you got to create space.
And I agree with that completely as well. It looks like hopefully from here on out, knock on wood, I'm going to Knock for a second. We should be okay. We do apologize for our technical difficulties. But what's a baseball or any broadcast outside without something?
Oh, man. Center fielder Fitzgerald's all the way in here yelling at his infield. I love it. It's interesting, but I love it.
And right now, you're just trying to find a solution. You've allowed 2 runs so far. Nobody out in the inning. You got to find a way to steady the ship here as Owen Walter steps back in for the 3rd time today. And the first pitch that he will see is low for a ball. And looking at our combined runs, we are currently at 14. And we are not even at the halfway point. Halfway point of this game is going to be middle of 5. So we still have 2 more half innings after this, or in all actuality, based on the outs, Bryce, we have 3.
Yeah.
So we're just over a third. We're just at a third of the way over, if you think about it that way. The 2-0 to Walter inside for ball 3, and a on-deck circle it is Caleb Campbell. So now the question is, if you're OVCC, how many pitchers can you use in this 3-game series?
You gotta start thinking about getting a guy going, though. I mean, you'd probably like it to be under 7 pitchers in a 3-game series. Just understanding how the series is going to work. But you got to get something going.
Got to find a strike first of all. And it's not going to be there. It's a 4-pitch walk for Walter. 2 on, nobody out for Caleb Campbell. And this is the right move for Laskowski. He is going to go and talk to his pitcher, Huff. They have to settle things down here and find rhythm again. And I feel like they definitely have the ability to do that here.
Yeah, I think they do. I want to know who just showed up. Is there another game after this?
There might be. I think a couple of players have shown up.
Interesting.
I think Lorain County could also play here. I think they do, actually. So there's a chance that we do see Coach Jake Solomon and those guys. Always a lovely bunch.
Yeah, I watched them get absolutely hammered by Amherst Steel last year in the playoffs. I felt bad.
Lorain County Community College?
Oh, no.
That's impressive.
I was thinking, well, I mean, Amherst was darn good with the Charles twins, or not twins, brothers.
Yes.
And Wolfie. No, I was thinking of just Lorain Titans High School.
Slightly different, but I believe both, at least at one point, did play a pipe yard as our home.
Yeah, they did.
So here comes Caleb Campbell as he will take a first pitch ball. And you can hear, I mean, we do have one window open. It's not necessarily in our part of the booth. We have it open for the camera bay. We can still hear KSU Tusk below us.
Yeah, and they're giving them the Texas A&M ball 6 chant.
And they get it. And the weird thing about the dugout setup today, Bryce, is that OVCC is on the first base side and KSU Tusk is on the third. At least when I was here for games for Crushers, the home dugout's the third base side.
I believe it is because I think the clubhouse is on this side.
It is. And there it is. 6 balls in a row, but there is the strike for Huff. The clubhouse definitely is on this side.
Both sides are very nice dugouts. I think the major difference is there's a little bit of seating in the third base dugout. The first base side, you don't have any seating. You got a bunch of they're not crates, but plastic pallets that you can stand on.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to stack all of them and make a really tall chair one time, but we got yelled at by an umpire.
I believe it. As well in the Ohio State game, 14 minutes left to go. 46-44, Michigan up by 2. So a really good game over there as Huff is going to step off the mound. But Ohio State, what a revival down the stretch as they will be dancing in March. The question is how far. Here's the 3-1, and a good drive into left center field. This one is going to get down. Bohannon, he is going to be held up over at third, and the bases are loaded. Still nobody out, as that'll be hit number 7 today for the Golden Eagles. And here comes B-Main, Braden Main.
Yeah, you need a ball on the ground here in the infield to hopefully do something. Get a put out somewhere. Get a 1-3. Like, you just need something.
6-4-3 does the trick.
6-4-3 does do the trick. I always like the 1-3 though, mostly just because I like pitchers, or the 1-2-3.
Realistically, anything. You just got to find a way out of this inning quickly. Still nobody out. Here comes B-Main. Infield is going to be in. Huff sets and delivers. Main fouling that one back. He's on it. 0-1 the count.
Hey, it was a little bit too steep with his angle there. Trust your chest.
And I think, Bryce, you've seen it, and I have as well. But the sun just playing tricks, coming and going. There are some darker clouds out in left center. And I think this game was moved up to try and avoid some weather that is coming in.
Yeah, and as long as it doesn't...
And on the 0-1, it's driven into center field. This one is down. That'll bring in Bohannon. The bases will stay loaded as it's an RBI single for Braden Main. Make it 12-3 KSU Tusk.
Yeah, KSU Tusk putting it on now. But as long as it doesn't get like yesterday, there was probably a 20-minute window yesterday where the sun just did not come out and there was dumping of snow. And it was not very fun.
It was funny because I was talking with my mom. Hey, it's about to rain. I look up after I'm off the phone with her and it's snowing. And as well beyond that, going back to Wednesday, I had to drop off my car. Shout out to my neighbor who's a mechanic who also was able to look at my car and fix an issue on it. I had to drop off the car around 2:30. I'm looking out. He's like, all right. He works nights, so basically he woke up around 2:30. He's like, hey, drop it off whenever. I'm like, all right. I look outside. It's not raining yet. I drop it off. The moment I get out of my car and I walk back, I get hit by a monsoon.
Yeah, it was brutal. I was actually going into Jamaican Jam Down to get me some... What was I getting? Oh, I was getting fried plantain because fried plantain is phenomenal. And I'll walk in, and the guy's like, hey, man, you know it's not summer anymore. I was like, what? I look outside, and there's just snow everywhere. I was like, are we kidding me? I was in shorts and a T-shirt.
You always are somehow. Today you're in a hoodie and sweatpants, so I'm really impressed.
Well, that's because I'm going to watch some of my guys play after this. I don't got a press box.
That's fair. Swing and a miss from Schofield, 0-1 the count. Where are you going to tonight? What's on the docket for Bryce Fisher as a coach?
We got Hudson versus Hoover.
Where's that game at?
It's at Hoover.
That sounds like actually a really good game.
It should be decent.
The 0-1.
I don't got any varsity guys there, so it'll be freshman JV, but it'll still be fun.
And I think, holy name, they didn't move up any scrimmages. Softball scrimmage this week. I don't think baseball did. They're scrimmaging next week.
There's a couple teams that have moved scrimmages around. It hasn't been terrible, but...
And that one will hit them. It's an RBI hard 90 for Cam Schofield. And that'll make it 13-3.
Yeah, you can't. Don't do that. Woo! That was almost a huge mental mistake from Schofield.
What do you almost do?
He tried to hand, who was that, Campbell, his stuff before he touched home plate. And if Campbell would have taken the stuff, Campbell would have been out.
Oh.
You got to establish yourself as safe, and then you're officially not part of the play.
The more you know.
Or sorry, that was Walter.
Base is still loaded here for Caleb Salgado. First pitch runs him in for ball one.
But good job from Walter saying, hey, I'm not touching that. Let me touch home plate first.
But so far today, through 4 innings, at least 1 run has scored for KSU Tusk, and 3 of the 4 multiple runs. 5 in the first, 3 in the third, and still 4 and counting with no outs in the 4th. The count now 1-1 as that one hits the top of the zone. But this KSU Tusk offense has kicked it into high gear. And it's not like they're playing a bad team. This OVCC team can play.
Yeah, they can play. They can hit very well. They definitely need to clean up on the defensive side, though. There's been a couple errors, couple pitching mistakes that you just got to clean up as a team.
Count now 2 balls, 1 strike on Salgado. And the question that we have to ask ourselves here, would they impose a run rule if this one gets out of hand at the end of the 7th?
I believe they would.
We'll see what ends up happening when this one is reaching an end. The 2-1 Salgado jammed up, pops it up. It's playable off to the right side, but it will fall in no man's land. Count now 2-2. But still a very enjoyable baseball game, I would say.
Yeah, it's been a good one. If you have another hat on the ground.
We've had that happen so many times today. And in the on-deck circle is Jeremy Patchett. He wants his 5th career KSU Tusk home run today, especially if those bases are still loaded. Even if not, he's going to want it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what the situation is. You always want to hit taters.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Salgado. Huff sets and delivers. This one popped up on the infield. Infield fly in effect. 1 down. And a much needed out as well for the defense. But that'll set up Jeremy Patchett here. Bases loaded, 1 down. So far, 2 runs scored for him on an E6. He had a double, and he also had the game's first infield fly rule.
Yeah, and I would expect he's trying to swing big here. You got to at least put something into the outfield. Whether it's in the air or on the ground, you got to get it to the outfield.
First pitch hits him. And that'll work for Jeremy Patchett as well. So that'll make it 14-3 KSU Tusk. Their second 5 spot of the day. So now an 11-run lead. Cohen Larson stepping in. Ruther in the on-deck circle. And keep in mind, Larson started the inning. In the hole is Wyatt Bohannon. Time called again here, as it looks like we will have a pitching change. And I think this is where they go about the infield to try and find some guys that can come in here and just settle things down.
Yeah, man, I think they're going to Becker. Or who are they going to?
That could be Thompson.
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to the second baseman. You're right. I was trying to figure out where Becker and Kowinski were going.
And that officially is number 0. That's Tommy Thompson, and he will be on the mound when we return. A big lead for KSU Tusk here in the top of the 4th, up 14-3 on Ohio Valley. Time now for the call to the bullpen here for OVCC. It's Tommy Thompson coming on to pitch. And Bryce, you've noticed this arsenal. Let's walk us through it.
Yeah, he got fastball, curveball, and knuckleball so far that he's warmed up with. Knuckleball hasn't really been there. Fastball's been fine. He's been filling it up. Breaking ball looks like he can locate it. But I think the defensive changes is something that we have to talk about. You got Huff moving to first from the mound. Tommy Thompson's obviously on the mound from second base. Perez is moving over from shortstop to second base. And then Kowinski coming in from the DH position to take over the shortstop position. That means OVCC loses their DH.
Which is tough because now you have less room to operate.
Yeah, you're a little bit stricter in terms of how you can substitute. And I think this is what the umpires are talking about.
And this will be the season debut of Tommy Thompson on the mound. We were talking to some of his teammates who are in the box here today a few moments ago. He's a two-way. He can pitch, just hasn't had to do it yet. And here he is getting his chance.
Yeah, I'm curious what this conversation is all about. I have a feeling it has to do with the substitutions because the way you enter a DH into the lineup.
But 14-3, it's an 11-run game. If you're KSU Tusk, can you somehow find a way to hit 20 this inning?
I mean, you definitely can. I mean, you get...
And then beyond that, what are you satisfied with?
You're never satisfied. I mean, maybe if I was up 20 on a team, I'd be satisfied, but you always want to put on the pressure.
So 14-3, an 11-run lead. First pitch to Larson is low for ball one. But you look at the scoring so far this inning. Ruther had the inside the park home run that brought home 2. Maine brought in 1 on an RBI single. Schofield, hard 90 RBI. That was the 4th. Patchett, 5th RBI, hard 90. And that is the scoring breakdown for the inning so far. Count now 1-1 as the sun again is deciding to hide.
Yeah, it sounds like the wind's really picking up out there.
I think part of that's just the AC unit that just kicked on behind us.
I hope so.
I can't tell, though, and that concerns me. The 1-1, driven foul, count now 1-2. And I think that one got underneath the fence. So it will be in the bleachers.
Yeah, it's not very hard to get to, though. At least the gate doesn't ever latch, so.
It's a nice setup, though. I really do like the fence setup here at Crusher Stadium.
Yeah, they've got a beautiful stadium.
The 1-2, a good rip down the left field line. It is down in left field. 1 run will score. They will send a second on home. The play at the plate is not in time, and it's a 2 RBI single for Cohen Larson. Make it 16-3.
Pat just got to be on third. I mean, I understand that you have a massive lead. You don't need to stretch anything out, but you can't be watching the play at the plate. There was no one at third base.
And the play at the plate nearly was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah. Like, quit watching. If you want to be a spectator, go buy a ticket.
There were no tickets needed to be purchased to watch today's game, but I get your points.
You understand.
Yes.
Figure of speech.
So to bring that out, and I think that's awesome that both communities can come out here today and watch their guys play some baseball. First pitch to Ruther is low in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, unlike fans at Massillon. Massillon charges admission to high school baseball games.
Really?
Yes.
I've never seen that outside of the playoffs.
Bunch of bogus.
Don't worry, we'll see them on the 31st over at Alliance. The 1-0 misses high for ball 2, and for that matter, we'll see them in softball next Monday. Nope, that's the wind.
Yeah, that's the win, as the tree looks like it's about to go parallel over there. Shout out the tree that was down by my house.
The wind is just
And center field's
whipping.
open again.
It's about time, Bryce. It's about time. Count now 2-0 on Ruther. Last time up in the inning as the right fielder has lost his hat. He had that Little League home run.
It is so far gone, I wouldn't even try to get it. Oh, it's going towards the center field hole.
They're trying to call for a timeout in center field. I don't think they're going to get it. He's jumping up in center field, not getting time. How is the catcher not stepping away from it? And that one hits him, and that'll level the bases. Somebody has to communicate that in the infield that they need time.
They probably can't hear it. I mean,
That's true.
sound travels on air. Actually, I'm not going to, that might be dumb. I feel like if you're yelling into the wind, it's harder because the air is moving towards you. It's not moving towards, but I don't know if that's actually how science works.
But well, Bryce, 1 out, top of the 4th. It's Wyatt Bohannon. Bases loaded.
Chance to hit a granny.
He wants it.
He definitely does. I'd put him at 20, too. You got Caden Castillo trying to stay hot.
And at this point, if you're Coach Morozek, you're just going to ride him out until this game's done.
This inning started at 1:10. It is 1:45 for those watching. This has been about a 35-minute inning.
Refresh that real quick. Half inning.
Half inning, yes.
Insane. Bohannon takes up high for ball one. And looking at the way that he swung, I'm surprised that it was his first and second career home run the last time we saw this team. I wouldn't have believed that if I didn't look at the stats myself after.
Yeah, he's got a great swing. I mean, I'm sure he hit plenty of jacks in high school.
And now a 2-0 count. Or they call that one a strike. Again, the late delays are really... I think it's a strike, so that should be 1-1.
It's very much an old school umpire thing. You see a lot of old school guys do the delay strike call.
On the 1-1. Now 2-1 the count.
The Italy versus USA game, that umpire was doing a little delayed strike and it was really making me mad.
It messes up your rhythm sometimes. Here comes the 2-1. Bohannon chops it foul down the third base line. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. And in the on-deck circle, it is Owen Walter. Bohannon is the 12th batter of this inning.
This is a long inning.
And just to put it in perspective, KSU Tusk is nearly 2 go-arounds ahead of OVCC. Here's the 2-2. Now again down the third base line, nearly hitting Patchett, but foul. But that's where you want to put it.
Somebody's got to go. Left fielder's gone, chasing his hat. Somebody needs to get the ball that's in left field.
He's got to flip it out there just to show the chaos.
There's so much happening.
Leaves are flying up here. It'll be interesting to see if any leaves got inside the press box to our right when we're all done. Anything?
I see some paper.
Interesting. The 2-2 again. Over towards third and through this time. Bohannon gets the job done. Bringing in 1, potentially 2. The play at the plate is not in time. It is going to be a 2 RBI single for Wyatt Bohannon. And that'll make it 18-3. Another beautiful piece of hitting here for the KSU offense. And as well, the reason why we did score that as a single opposed to a double, Bryce, is he was able to advance on the throw.
Yes.
But 18-3. It's a 9 spot in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, that's wild. It's like LSU Shreveport numbers.
So now here we go. 0-1 the count on Owen Walter. But again, outside of the win, a beautiful day for baseball and a beautiful day for some offense. Walter fouling that one back quickly down in the count 0-2.
I'm curious to see when KSU Tusk begins emptying their bench.
It might be in the bottom of the inning, honestly.
And
at some point, I don't think we're going to hit 9 innings today. I really don't. It'll be interesting to see when they call it. Here's the 0-2 to Walter, and this one is behind, and that might bring in run 19. The play at the plate is not in time. They didn't get him. And a nice job taking home by Ruther, and that'll put Bohannon at third. Count now 1-2, and they are knocking on the door of 20, but it is officially a 10 spot. And Bryce, we talked about it. If they get to 20, they're satisfied.
Yeah, they'd probably be happy.
The 1-2. It's to the backstop. Bohannon, the big man's taking home, and he is in there. Make it 20-3 KSU Tusk, and the bases are officially cleared. 11 runs. I'm floored.
Yeah, it's just absolutely absurd. And it appears the mercy rule is 10 runs after 7 full innings in a 9-inning game. That is per meta, so I'm not exactly sure.
The 2-2, a hard rip down the left field line foul. But as well, it's weird. I think it's USCAA, which could be a NAIA division for KSU Tusk, versus a NJCAA team. NAIA still falls under the not OVCC. Jeez, It falls under NCAA jurisdiction still. So we'll see what it ends up being. I'm sure we'll get some kind of word eventually. But right now, KSU Tusk, 20 runs on 10 hits. Payoff pitch skied on the infield. Walter jammed up and popped up. And this one will be caught at second for out number 2.
Yep, second baseman's ball. Trust your second baseman. That's how you do it.
And that'll bring up Caleb Campbell. But once again, counting it down. This will be batter number 14 of the inning.
It appears as the same in NII. According to Meta, again, I don't know how much we trust AI. That's a hot topic right now.
Most definitely is. And everything just whipping below us.
Oh, man. That's crazy news.
What is it?
F1 is canceling their races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia.
Interesting. The 1-0.
I don't know how much you watch F1, but I watch it
Never have.
occasionally.
Never will. Count out 2-0 here on Campbell with Maine in the on-deck circle. Still no defensive changes, of course, yet. But maybe on the offensive end, still nothing for KSU Tusk, which I think is going to change very soon.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to make some changes. I mean, there's no point to keep your starters in this long.
And this time it's going to get just into right field. A light poke from Campbell. He wants to leg out a double, and he is in there. Plenty of hustle here from the Golden Eagles. Their 11th hit of the ball game, and run number 21 is in scoring position.
Man.
This inning just got completely out of hand for the defense of OVCC.
Yeah, it was a landslide. I mean, one thing after another, an avalanche.
Decisive.
Yeah, everything just kept falling on top of each other.
And as well, this is a great start to our 3-game slate this weekend of college baseball. Join us again on Sunday, 12-3 at Ron Model Field, as the Tri-C Triceratops look to take down the Lansing Community College Stars. Should be a great day of baseball over at the Mott. Tri-C trying to get back above 500, sitting at 4-5 as things stand. Runner at second, 2 down, top of the 4th inning here for Braden, Maine. And that'll wrap up the 4th go-around today for KSU Tusk's lineup. First pitch misses high for ball 1. And again, we are still going through go-round 2 for OVCC. They have 5, 6, and 7 due up in the bottom of the inning. Man, a good rip but foul down the right field line. And again, this would be win number 10 on the year for the Golden Eagles. That puts them in a really good spot going forward.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far.
And if they can replicate this again tomorrow twice, which I think they can, 12-7. Even if you lose to Point Park's JV team, you're 12-8. If not, you're 13-7. And all of a sudden, you're set up to do better than you did last year with still half the season to go.
Yeah, and that's always the goal, is to build off of the previous year, keep going, get better.
Here's the 1-2 to Maine, and he will foul this one off. Not too many fans in the stands today here at Crusher Stadium, but still, the ones who made the trip out, all the credit to them.
Yeah, seriously, because it's not super cold without the wind, but with the wind, it's freezing.
And up here in the press box, it's quite nice.
Yeah, it feels great up here. I mean,
Great spot to watch a game.
The thermostat that decided to turn on says it's set at 70.
And I think you agree either way, it's just a great spot to watch a baseball game from.
Oh, yeah.
Count at 1-2 here on Braden, Maine, the second baseman in the 9th spot. Thompson sets and deals, and this one is skied out of play. And I think it maybe took a bounce off the dugout.
I think it did.
But another loose baseball. As you mentioned with Crusher games, no little kids running around for baseballs today.
Yeah, they're usually in the fun zone, too, out in right field.
Speaking from experience of somebody who's come to these games before to do media, they do a great job all the way around with their different events.
Yeah, Florence Yalls does a great job, too. Lake County Captains do a great job.
All the way around.
Yeah, I mean, the
2-2 fouled back.
These smaller teams are kind of more of a community power team, are always fun to go to. They do a great job just because they all understand that it's a community event. It's not for the game. These aren't pros. You're not going to expect to see professional level baseball out of these guys. You're here to see some fun.
On the 2-2, it's jammed up on the infield, called off at second, and the side is retired. What an inning for the KSU Tusk offense, counting it out 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 batters this inning. A total of 11 runs, and the skies have opened up. Middle of 4 in Avon, 20-3, KSU Tusk well in control on SmeeSports. Wow.
We back?
I think we're up and running again. The question is if we're still connected, but hopefully we're connected again. We do apologize. We just had a big power cut here in the press box.
Yeah, everything. I think
Everything turned off for a second, so I'm hoping we're back going again. If we are, welcome back to Crusher Stadium, as this has been a very interesting game and day all the way around. Never a dull moment, Bryce. Never a dull moment, is there?
no, there's not. While we were off, there was a walk.
So that'll put one runner on. We do apologize, as I think you and I both were really caught off guard by that.
Yeah, there's just everything shut off, and then you heard everything reset, everything. Like even the Crusher stuff turned off, so heard all their stuff turned back on like it was a factory.
Really, really weird. And it looks like we actually are back on the air and rolling again. Okay.
All right, perfect.
And the big thing is, Bryce, we had a 56-second delay that has gone back down to 10.
There we go.
I am really caught off guard by that. We do apologize.
Just a lot going on. It looks like Fitzgerald's getting warm in the bullpen.
Never a dull moment.
Of course not. Oh, and the ball's by.
Very weird all the way around. So 1 ball, 1 strike, the count, the pitch. Gonna miss low for ball 2. And I think, again, the door got open to the press box.
Yeah, and he's realizing that it's tough to close it. I found that out earlier.
And there we go. Official confirmation on our end as I think a leaf just pretty much flew right by.
Yeah, it smacked the window as we got more hats everywhere. Actually, a third baseman's hat was all the way to the wall. Left fielder's delivering it to him.
We're going to have bits and pieces of this game just randomly inserted.
Yeah,
You know
who
what?
knows?
This is what we enjoy about doing broadcasts like this, I guess.
Yeah, up in Cleveland. Let's see what the gusts are getting up to here. Let's check the Weather Channel.
Our very own Dick Goddard.
Yeah.
We count 2-1. Nobody out here for RJ Hodges. The pitch from Castillo. Low for ball 3. And this is a start that really can benefit OVCC. And one they absolutely need.
Yeah, and this is how you begin to chip away. Oh my, 30-mile-per-hour winds.
I thought it was supposed to get up to 40, so we'll see if it does or not.
Gusts up to 60.
Castillo has him in a rundown. A chance to get out number 1. Instead, they get a free base. Perfect execution by Smith.
Yeah, great job there from Smith.
Wasn't a bad idea for Castillo to step off there either.
No, it was a really good job. But understanding what the situation is, just go all the way through. You see the shortstop back. There's no one really on the bag. You got to just beat him. It's a race.
And now this walk, really not as important as it once was, but still I would say important.
Well,
Either way, you have that base free.
Oh, and another hat's gone.
At least for now, the fence out in center isn't open again.
Yeah, I saw some fans went to close it.
Respect to the fans. 3-1 count here on Hodges. Castillo trying to settle things down. Ground ball right side, and it's through for a seeing eye single, and they're going to send the runner home, and he is in. Smith comes around to score as it's an RBI single for RJ Hodges. Make it 20-4. Perfect piece of hitting off to that right side. We'll watch that one back on the replay. If you're Patchett, you have to make a play for that one off to that right side.
There's a trash can losing its trash bag over there to my right. That is incredible. But yeah, you got to make a play. You got to at least give the effort. I mean, you don't got much to lose there. You'll be in a foot race. So why not? As we got somebody warming up in the KSU Tusk bullpen.
Try to get a number on who that is as it is Bohannon
27?
warming him up. 27 is Dakota Foltz, the sophomore from Newark High School. Popped up off towards the right side. Patchett. He's going to make his beeline, but not there in time. 0-1 the count. But you got 1 on the board this inning. You said 7? I think 5's even enough here.
Well, yeah, but you want to get out of the run rule. That's the goal. You never want to be back against the wall. As we have a rosin bag coming in. I don't know where that came from. Somebody ran down from the bullpen with a rosin bag and tossed it in play.
I mean, what has not flown from somewhere today?
Yeah, I mean, there's just stuff everywhere as we have another hat gone from Larson. Or no, that was Walter at shortstop.
They need like Velcro or something to keep them down. A little chin strap. Here's the 0-1 from Castillo. Driven foul on this one is going towards the main concourse, and it will one hop off the wall that is leading towards fan services.
You can get one of those hat protectors that they used to have. I think I've only ever seen one person wear it, but it was Kike Hernandez, who's obviously a position player, but they're still funny to see.
Castillo's 0-2. Left up high for ball 1. Not too many strikeouts today. Castillo has 2. Picasso had 3. 5 combined across 4 pitchers.
Yeah, not a lot. It's been hard to come by. These guys are all swinging the bats real well, putting pitches in the zone, being competitive. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of swing and miss. Castillo loses his hat.
And he's just going to roll with it. The 1-2, and this one is to the backstop. So that'll put a runner in scoring position for OVCC.
I wonder if his hat had to do anything with that. I don't think so, but you never know.
I think as a pitcher, you would really just disengage there and step off if you lost your hat.
Nah, it's a power move. You know, really assert dominance on the batter. Let him know, listen, no matter what happens, I'm still going to find a way to punch you out. Obviously, he didn't, but I would have asserted dominance.
Is that what you would have done?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, check me on the Roy Hobbs leak, man.
Let me see
Nasty.
footage of this. It's like Will's 100-point game.
Which, bam! Oh my gosh!
We'll talk about that in a minute here. Here comes Castillo's 2-2. This one's high for ball 3, and that'll put a runner at third as that one is dropped. But incredible from Bam Adebayo, just going back to that.
Dude, it was like 11 o'clock at night. I was sitting there on my phone. I think I was eating a Crunch Bar. 83 points from Bam Adebayo. I was like, huh? Excuse me?
Absurd. As well, Ohio State's down by 3 in the final 2 minutes against Michigan. So still a chance for the Buckeyes if they can somehow find a way back in.
Bruce Thorne, clutch up.
Full count, 3-2. A big payoff pitch for Castillo, and it's high for ball 4. And as you said that, they missed the shot.
Oh, well.
Still none down in the inning, as here is the mound visit for KSU Tusk. We are just around 2 hours into this game, and we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, it's been a long one. There's a lot of runs, a lot of hits. It's been a crazy one.
The question is, how much longer are we going to play? And the crazy thing, Bryce, this game was initially supposed to play at 7 p.m. This was supposed to be a night game.
Yeah, and that would run us late into the night. I want to know what Castillo's doing, rubbing the ball on the ground with his cleats.
Trying to rough it up a little bit?
I don't exactly know. Play soccer? He's kicking it. I don't know.
As well, it's worth noting, going back to the Ohio State-Michigan game, as the first free throw over there is no good. And yes, I'm calling both games at once now, Bryce.
Wow.
Shout out Kevin Harlan. Michigan started 4 for 4 from 3. 1 of 13 cents.
Jeez.
Somehow Ohio State still has a chance, which I'm excited for next week. I think they'll be an 8 seed. As long as they don't see Florida, I'm okay.
Florida isn't even that good. Overrated.
That's the team I'm most worried about is the 1 seeds right now. As crazy as that sounds. Michigan's beatable.
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I got to start my research because my buddy just sent me our bracket tournament.
I'll send you one soon, don't worry. I'm not leaving you out.
Is yours a pay-in?
No.
Oh.
Just
So
for pride.
There's no winner?
There's a winner. It's just pride.
Oh, that's lame.
What's wrong with that?
Well, if I win Bobby's, I think it's $250. Second and third get $100.
Not bad.
I won it last year.
First pitcher strike, 0 on the count here for Perez. Delayed steal from first. Throw down to second is on the money. They will get him for out number 1, but a run will score. Make it 20-5. But I feel like that is a sacrifice that OVCC will live with.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, you obviously want to be safe at second. You're not super upset that you aren't, but got the run. That's what matters.
A 2-run inning here for the Bulldogs. It was the bottom of the third inning not scoring that really killed them.
Yeah, it kind of killed momentum there.
The 0-1 or 1-1's passed for ball 2. But they still have a chance to fight their way back in, easily.
Oh, yeah. You never know what can happen.
I think it's when in Rome is one of the main quotes.
Yeah.
But a 2-1 count on Gabriel Perez with Tommy Thompson in the on-deck circle. Castillo sets and fires. Swing and a miss. Now 2-2. And I think if you're Caden, if you can get out of this inning and maybe get through the 5th, that's an outing well done. But still allowing 5 runs, you got to bring that down. Here's the 2-2, a skip to my Lou there, and we are full.
Skip to my Lou.
You never heard that one?
No, I have, but it was just on point.
That's vintage Matt Vasgersian, MLB The Show. Full count here, Castillo. The payoff pitch. A high pop-up. This one's fell off towards the left side. As well, Ohio State has 30 seconds down by 4. And they will have free throws.
There you go.
That one's heating up as well. So we will see it again from Castillo on the full count. 3-2. Trying to retire Gabriel Perez for out number 2. Castillo's payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him 2 down.
Good pitch.
Third punch out of the afternoon for Caden Castillo. And that is a much-needed out.
Yeah, it looked like a two-seam up and away. Going away from that lefty's hands. It's a good one.
So 2 down now, as that should bring in Tommy Thompson, the now pitcher. Once again, you no longer have a DH.
Yeah, it looked like Gabriel Perez was down there telling his teammates, yeah, that ball started on the plate and just kept running.
First pitch from Castillo, low to Thompson. In the top of the inning, it's the top of the order, Schofield, Salgado, and Patchett. We'll see how many of those guys are still in the game at that time, with it being a 15-run advantage. And Ohio State's down by 3 as they split the free throws, which is not ideal. We'll count now 1-1. But I think even if Ohio State loses here, that's just still a great job for them keeping it close against one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, at one point, a team that was just dominating all facets of the game. I don't know if Castillo knows that he just lost his hat.
I think now he does. What are your thoughts, Bryce? Was this playable today, the weather, the wind?
Playable? Yes. Ideal? Not really.
Do you like it for these guys?
Yeah, if I was playing in it, though, I'd been like, can we move this somewhere?
2-1 poked right towards Castillo on the mound, and his beeline to 1 is in time, and the side is retired. A nice pitcher fielding play by Caden, and the inning is over. Still 2 runs come to pass here, as Castillo has some words for somebody.
Yeah, he was letting them know.
There goes another hat, as that'll tumble us into the 5th inning, 20-5. All KSU Tusk on SmeeSports. Welcome back to a wind tunnel in Avon, Ohio. 20-5 your score. A 15-run lead in hand for KSU Tusk. And back to the top of the order for the 5th time today we go. What an interesting day of baseball it has been here at Crusher Stadium. Still a beautiful venue nonetheless.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful venue, and it's been an interesting day. A lot of runs, quite a bunch of hits, but it's just been bizarre all around.
And you said it perfectly there. Just a bizarre day of baseball. Schofield on the 1-0, chops it towards second base. The throw to 1 on the run is in time. 1 up, 1 down. And another hat has been lost.
Oh, wait, there's been so many today. We might go back and check how many hats we lost throughout the day. I'm lucky I wore a beanie, because my brain is absolutely massive, and I thought beyond what you guys could think. Just kidding. I just didn't have a hat, but
Fair enough. Here comes Salgado. A good drive into center field. And that one is down for a one-out single. And it's going to go past the center fielder, Fitzgerald. It is going to be extra bases for Salgado. They will wave him to third. He will say no. And it will be a one-out single for Caleb Salgado. And he will advance on the error.
I don't really know how that ball got under Fitzgerald's glove.
I think just misread it. And now there is a plastic bag behind home plate.
There's just stuff. It's appearing from everywhere. There's somebody running poles behind the outfield wall. I'm really curious why. So their second one.
And now the plastic bag is on the fence / the net. So 1 on, 1 down for Jeremy Patchett. As well, Michigan back up by 4 with 5 seconds left to go. It looks like Ohio State is going to bow out of the Big Ten tournament here. And they will. 71-67, Michigan knocks off Ohio State.
That's a good loss, though.
Better than I think anybody thought based on how yesterday finished against Iowa.
100%.
They'll be dancing.
I think they will be.
They are in, basically. From everything we've been told, they are in. Patchett, a strong take there. Now 2-0 the count.
Yeah, well, everything I was told about football told me Bill Belichick was the first ballot Hall of Famer, but
Fair enough.
apparently he's not.
Again, it's getting darker and darker here as the day goes on. All we need is flurries during the actual game itself. And then I think we would have had pretty much the full arsenal of what this could possibly be.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been just the weirdest day of all days for baseball.
Never a bad day for baseball, though, no matter how bad the weather is. If you're
Never.
playing baseball, you're doing something right.
Yeah, except when we were at Wright State and there was a funnel cloud forming above us.
That does happen, as that one will bonk Patchett on the arm.
That day wasn't great. But I went in there, weight room right behind, or inside the dugout, talked to a Wright State player, I convinced him to try to let me reverse lunge 400 pounds with no warm-up in front of my entire team. I would have had it. My shoe didn't slip. He saw it. 3 of my players saw it. But it was all right. Great time, though. Love Wright State's field. It's beautiful, other than the tornado that was forming above us.
And as well, in the meantime, we will have a pinch runner in here for Jeremy Patchett. That is going to be Nathan Ashcraft, the sophomore from Beaver Creek High School. And that could begin to mean some defensive changes today for the Golden Eagles as they are quickly approaching win number 10 on the season.
Yeah, I would begin just straight subbing instead of pinch running. Just why not?
I would assume that is what that move is at this point. You give these guys one final at-bat. That'll be 5 for the day. And then you get them ready for the doubleheader tomorrow, which, if it continues to operate like this, you could just see 2 5s tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal circumstance.
But the big thing is these guys are playing baseball, and that's what matters to them. I feel like as it should.
Yeah.
So here comes Cohen Larson into the box for the 5th time today. So far this afternoon, a strikeout, a single, a stolen base, a hard 90, and an RBI double for Cohen Larson. And I feel like him flipping a Schofield at the 1 and 4 spots has worked out quite well today for KSU Tusk.
Definitely has. It's been very, very productive. I mean, it's been productive all around for everyone, basically.
Ground ball up the middle. This could be 2. Instead, it's going to be off the chest of the shortstop, and the bases are loaded. The perfect lineup for that triple, or rather double play ball. Instead, bases juiced, and that'll set up Jagger Ruther, one of the more clinical guys in your lineup. An RBI single, a strikeout, a hard 90, and of course a Little League home run.
Yeah, and I'll expect him to probably try to go oppo here. There's a lot of space in right field.
And that's what he did last time, just poking it down the line. First pitch sailing off the plate for ball 1.
I mean, you could barely even see the right fielder in frame there.
At the top left of your screen, you just can. And you could just hear that wind again, whipping madly. Swing and a foul tip, 1-1 the counts. I wonder how it's going to be the rest of the week. If it's like this from here on out, this is going to be some really, really harsh baseball for both teams.
It's going to be harsh for everyone in the state. You got a lot of scrimmages for high school going.
And a hard drive up the middle. It is picked up at short. They will not get the out of two. Yes, they do. They will say in the end he picked it up in time. 2 down. But a run will score. An excellent play, though, up the middle by Kowinski. That was an excellent dive to at least get one of the outs.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely close. Closer than it should have been there.
I thought that one was going to get through.
I did too, but it was a great job from Kowinski to make up. I mean, obviously you don't want the run to score, but it was a good job as we get another pinch runner here.
That is going to be Keith Fegan Jr., the sophomore and transfer from Owens Community College. 2 stolen bases on the year, 0 for 1 batting, and this is his 7th appearance. Take a guess of his high school. I'm going to give you a hint here. They're known for basketball because their head coach has coached in the USA basketball youth systems. And as well, we did not see them this year at Youth Elite, but they did play last year.
I have 0 clue.
How about Chet Mason and the Brush Sharks?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't know if Fegan played basketball, but I know he was one of their best baseball players in recent memory. Fastest, too. A 1 up high, evening things up. But a lot of these guys played at some community college or other places over the last couple of years. KSU Tusk is not a last chance U, but it's a next chance U. And they have really lived and thrived with the model so far.
Yeah, they have. They've done a good job.
And I know when you visited this team, it wasn't when Cole was the coach, and it's night and day, the comparison.
It definitely is. They were, I mean, I would be pretty confident that my team in the summer would have mercied them when I visited.
But now, this team, competitive and in the right direction. If he can up that win tally for the 3rd straight year, and once again, you don't lose too many seniors this year. You lose some key guys, but still, they're not irreplaceable guys.
No, not at all, and you can definitely build off of it.
This will be a fun team to keep track of over the next couple of years. Swing and a hefty miss from Bohannon, and we are full. And he is a guy that you can really keep a close eye on as a guy that can definitely step up and be just a dominant force for this offense.
Yeah, he hammers baseballs.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Bohannon. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Runner at first goes, payoff pitch is inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And I would assume that we will see somebody run in place of Bohannon once he gets there. Either way, it'll be up to Owen Walter to try and bring a few more runs in.
Yeah, it looks like no one's going to be coming.
Once again, there is some action in the bullpen for the Ohio Valley Community College Bulldogs. I don't know if we make another change here. It just depends on how far we're going to play. If we play a full 9 or not. Again, I highly doubt we do.
I mean, at this rate, it's a mercy rule, so we would only play 7, but...
And just to put timing in perspective, say this inning is done at 2:25. 2 hours and 25 minutes will be your time for half the game. 5:50. So we'd be almost done at 6 o'clock if we played a full 9 at this rate, because you would have the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah. It would definitely be a long time if we were to play this entire game.
Now, if OVCC comes out here and plays 12, play on.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But
I'd love to see it.
As it's become less competitive.
And a beautiful rope down the left field line. Walter gets it in the corner for extra bases. 2 runs will score. Bohannon, he will touch at third, and he will stay put. It's a 2 RBI double for Owen Walter. Make it 23-5. We've been waiting all day to see that beautiful drive down the left field line. The request has been granted.
Yeah, it was a good drive there, and it looks like we're going to get possibly a call to the bullpen or at least a mound visit.
And you can just see how dark it is out in left field, and as well, the gas sign just kind of flickering off in left. But, man, what an offensive day for Kent State Tuscarawas. Now a combined 28 runs today. We talked about 30. 29 and 30 are currently in scoring position. And that'll set up Caleb Campbell. Once again, I feel like a lot of these guys, of course, deserve it. Could we say nobody more than the guy who's been here all 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserves it. He's got a chance to do something great. Man, that hat out there just juked Huff.
Poor Tracy Huff losing
brutal.
that one into right field. I think the guys in the press box are loving seeing their teammates chasing the hat. We'll ask them. Are they loving it over there?
They can't hear you.
We'll see. You guys enjoying them chasing the hats over there? They're loving it over off to our left.
They got a parlay going.
Under 6 hats. That is insane. You know what? Once again, we go back to culture, Bryce. We talk about it so much. The culture here at OVCC is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
This is one of those teams that I think you and I both agree. We want to see this team grow and just become what they can be, because this team can be the next big thing.
Yeah, I would imagine they got good talent here, especially in terms of a group that can hit. I mean, that's always one of the first stages of building out a team is they got to be able to hit.
I mean, I'd love to be able to cover these guys more often than just this. I feel like this is a fun group to see develop.
Yeah, I agree.
First pitch there for strike one as the right fielder has lost his hat again.
At some point.
He took the under for the hats, right? Yeah, the under is unfortunately not looking good. The 0-1 runs inside and hits him, and the bases are loaded, and the catcher, I think, is in pain. He appears to be okay. That's obviously what you want to see there, but he got the raw end of that deal.
Yeah, it looks like as it hit off of the batter there, end up clipping him in the arm. At some point, it appears we're going to see our first substitution here. Straight sub, pinch hitter. Be monitored for Maine.
I like it.
But at some point as coaches, you got to be like, all right, guys, listen, this is out of hand.
But Jackson Monard coming in, a Penn State Fayette transfer, played his high school ball where Tyler Pappas is looking to lead a revolution over at Manchester High School out in New Franklin.
Yeah.
Shout out John Fort, the old, I believe, defensive coordinator back in the good old days of Manchester football. One of my dad's old coworkers at AT&T.
Yeah, I think Manchester has a good chance to. I mean,
Pappas coming in from Northwest was huge.
Yeah. I think they've got a lot to build off. They had, I'm going to blank on his name. I can't ever remember it. They had a pitcher a couple years ago who was just absurd statistically.
And I know back in the 2010s at the end, they had Ethan Wright at one point a Cincinnati running back. The 0-1 to Monard.
I want to say his name was Owen.
And that one hits him. It's a hard 90 for Jackson Monard. It's back-to-back.
Wow.
Make it 24-5. But going back to Jackson Monard, we got to see him play this summer for the Canton Class A's. They made it to the final day of the NABF World Series, bowing out to the eventual champion Stark County Terriers, who have won it 4 years on the bounce. But that was a big transfer coming in from Fayette. 185 on the year, now 8 RBIs. Also, a couple of appearances pitching. He is set to pitch on Sunday against Point Park. And here comes Fegan. This will be Fegan's second at-bat of his collegiate career as he is in place here of Schofield. Which, again, I like it. You're getting some other guys' opportunities here that usually wouldn't.
Yeah, this is what you want to see from a coaching staff. You're not looking to see, all right, who really wants to compete? What do you got? What are you bringing to the table for the next 4 years, 3-4 years?
And as we've talked with Coach Morozek, a lot of what he says is, if you're a freshman that wants to play right away, come to KSU Tusk.
Yeah.
And his recruitment has been outstanding. I will give him that.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He understands what he looks for, and he understands the type of culture these guys need to bring and buy into.
The talent from top to bottom, so much better than it was even when we saw them against Middletown and Westmoreland last fall. This group has improved so much, and I think you saw the community last Sunday, Bryce. Just a microcosm of it. They fed us. They didn't have to do that. They went above and beyond for us as well, which is great as visiting broadcasters. I mean, we're contracted by the team, of course. Oh, no, the hats are down. Is the parlay sold?
6.
The parlay has been sold. Oh, but back to it with KSU Tusk culture, Bryce. That's a team that you want to root for and just say, hey, I want to see this team go far.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time being down there, seeing what they offered. I mean, it was cool to see the family aspect. The food was great. It was definitely bizarre. I know as we were leaving there, we got stuck behind those water tankers that were just absurd, but I know there's a data center being built out that way. I imagine that's what that's going to be used for. And while I was coming, there was somebody walking their bowl in the middle of the road. So it was just an interesting play. And he waved hi to me. He was very happy to see me driving a car and almost plowing into his cap.
And a good drive from Byers deep to center field. This one is down in the gap, and this one is going to be extra bases. At least 3 runs will come around to score. Byers, he will touch at second, and he will retreat. It is a 3 RBI double for Alex Byers. Make it 28-5.
Absolutely absurd. Just absurd amount of runs. I think we're going to get a mound visit and a pitching change here.
The wind just continues to whip here. 8 runs now in the inning.
I'm starting to see these light poles start shaking, like, heavily.
I mean, look under the SmeeSports logo in right field, Bryce. Look at that.
Yeah, that is... Oh, my gosh.
And the call to the bullpen has been made. Well, Bryce, we have more than 30 runs. And going back to it, I didn't have time to mention it. Congratulations to Mookie Fegan. That was his first career RBI on the walk.
There you go.
Congrats, young man. Representing Lyndhurst well. That's usually not a baseball area, and I think you and I both, from seeing CCC and Glenville, who are both playing tomorrow for a regional title, and covering these Cleveland schools, especially out on the east side, we want to see that become a baseball culture. And guys like Keith Fegan, they're setting the stage for it. I mean, Brush last year beat Revere in the playoffs in a game that should never have went that way.
Yeah, it's been crazy. They're making changes that have really improved all their baseball programs. I mean, I think athletics within the Lake area are just improving all around.
I want to see the Senate League get good. I mean, we've seen it with Garrett Morgan, and their revival has been so fun. One of the best offenses in NEO for basketball this year. Baseball, they're getting better too.
Yeah, they're definitely improving. As appears we have Fitzgerald coming in from center field.
So that'll be the 4th pitcher of the game for OVCC.
I think we have, looks like Tommy Thompson's going out to play the outfield. I imagine he's probably going to slot into a corner outfield spot, or they're going to put him into center just off rip.
And as expected, it is Nathan Ashcraft, in the on-deck circle for KSU Tusk. And now he will step in once we get back to the action. But as our new pitcher warms up, we will step aside here on SmeeSports. Well, as you can see on your screen, we have brightened the cameras up a little bit. We walk back into the press box here, and we just start to hear beeping.
Yeah, I think either somebody finished microwaving something.
Hot Pockets right now?
Ooh.
No meat, though, of course, as it is a Friday in Lent, so I cannot have meat, but
Yes.
the principle's still there, a cheese Hot
can't
Pocket.
either because Lent.
Yes.
Exactly.
See, you're getting around. I appreciate you. I like that from you. Now, 28-5 your score. It is all KSU Tusk in this one. First pitch to Ashcraft up high for ball 1. But an 8-run inning so far. Impressive all the way around. You look at what has been done. 3 RBIs coming in from Byers. 1 from Fegan. I mean, all the way around this inning. 1 was the fielder's choice. That was the first. Then 2 on an RBI double from Walter. So 3. 4th came in from Maine. 5th came in from Fegan. And then 3 more from Byers. And that's where things stand, 28-5. And in the on-deck circle, it is going to be Cohen Larson still staying in there. The 1-0. Well off the plate for ball 2 to Nathan Ashcraft. He ran last time up, but looking at his average, 263 on the year in 9 games played. A pair of doubles, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. But a career average of 340, so still trying to get back to about that mean. And this is a great spot for him to improve upon it here. And an all-time great day for KSU Tusk's offense. Swing and a miss on the 2-0. Now 2-1 the count. And the on-deck circle again, Cohen Larson. Next inning, or rather in the bottom of the inning for the home team, top of the order, Sierra, Fitzgerald, and Kowinski. Once again, Kowinski has the only true home run of the day. And that came back in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch low in the dirt for ball 3.
Really debating how much I trust these lights.
They might need to come on.
They're swaying a lot.
The lights, I think, do have to come on here.
I think so.
We saw them last Saturday come on at noon. 3-1 the count here. Ashcraft trying to keep the inning going. Still the runner at second as that one's fouled back. We are full. It is still Byers over at second base. And the question is, will we see the 7th? I think you said we do have to play up until the 7th.
That's what Meta AI told me, but I never know to trust AI because one time I asked who somebody was on Twitter to Grok, and they told me he was Draymond Green. And I know who Draymond Green is, and it was not Draymond Green.
Payoff pitch here from Ashcraft. Out the middle. It's off the mound. It is going to get towards second base. The throw to 1 is in time, and the side is retired. Fitzgerald got out of the way of it, but over at second base, what a great play to end the inning.
Wow.
We'll watch that one back, Bryce. Unorthodox, but perfect.
Yeah, perfectly executed, some may say. I don't.
To quote Bobby from, what would that be? King of the Hill. It's some wabi-sabi. It's a beautiful play to end the inning. I mean, off the mound, that was that was interesting off the mound. But we'll step aside here. 28-5. It's KSU Tusk on top. Welcome back to Crusher Stadium in Avon. 28-5 your score. An 8-spot last time out for KSU Tusk. We have debris flying around. We have leaves. We have lights swaying. Foul pole swaying. Lines vibrating. The power's come off for us already once. What more do you want from some Friday afternoon baseball on Friday the 13th?
It's just better weather. I think Elsa's coming.
She might be, but on the mound now for KSU Tusk, it is Dakota Fultz wearing number 27, and this one is ripped into left field, and it's going to get down in center field over Campbell's head, and it's extra bases for Segura. And Sierra, he is getting into third. It's a leadoff triple for the Bulldogs. The pop is returning for OVCC.
Yeah, I mean, the pop never left. They've been swinging the bats well all day. I mean, like barrels on barrels on barrels. Some of them haven't fallen. Some of them haven't gotten through. I mean, it's been unfortunate, but I mean, the biggest story has been their defensive pitching. It's been a struggle bus.
You're not wrong there at all. And again, Bryce, we've only had 1.5 inning without a run, and that was in the third, bottom of the third. But right now, it's Kyle Fitzgerald, 0 for 2 today, trying to bring in run number 6 for the Bulldogs. First pitch. Gonna miss for ball 1.
Like most games, if you score 5 runs through 4 innings, you're in a really good spot to win a baseball game.
Now, if you score 28 through 5, you're in a very, very, very good spot to win.
You're in a really good spot.
Going back to what you talked about with being satisfied, I think you have to be satisfied here.
You're happy but never satisfied. I don't think anyone in a sport is ever satisfied.
I know it's a food term, but it gets gluttonous almost at a point.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-1. In there for strike 2, but nothing against KSU Tuscarawas. They're just going out there playing their game and doing everything right.
Yeah, I mean, they are. They're defensively, offensively, they've done it all really well. I think
the 1-2, swing and a miss, 1 down. First strikeout of the day for Dakota Fultz.
Individually, you can't be satisfied, though. Like, you can be happy about your performance, but there's 3 guys who got Ks on KSU Tusk. They've been punched out 3 times. You got guys who have grounded out, who have had poor at-bats, poor swings, so you're not satisfied with what you've done. You want to keep building on your individual performance, but overall, it's been a good day.
And Tyler Kowinski, he is a guy that is very satisfied with his individual performance today. 1 for 2 with a moonshot in the left center field.
Yeah, and that ball was absolute piece. I forgot to thank you for Boye Mafe, by the way.
You're welcome, buddy. I almost texted you about that, too.
I started dancing.
As you should for Boye Mafe.
Gosh.
We got Rahit Shahid back, and Elijah Wilson, or whatever his name is from the Packers. Manuel Wilson. And a good rip down the left field line and cut over at third! What a web gem at third!
Wow.
That was Cohen Larson. Absolutely nasty. And as well, Comphorst, the freshman, now in the game over at short. But that's disgusting.
That was a phenomenal grab diving towards the line. Almost got to the bag, too.
I thought that was going to be down the line for extra bases.
I thought it was, too. I apologize. I am the one switching the cameras. I almost switched to the left field line where you couldn't have seen, and I had to switch back. That one's on me. He caught me by surprise there. I'll take ownership.
Only 2 of us today. Thank you again to Bryce for making the trip up here from Canton. And this one, a good piece into center field. Has a chance to get down, and it will. It is going to be an RBI single here for OVCC. It's Tracy Huff.
It's a good piece of hitting. Stayed through it. Not the hardest hit ball, but stayed through it with the hands, keeping the top hand through. Bottom hand also staying through, leading it, staying strong. Find a way to get on.
And I'm going to make it 28-6. Ah, yes, your average OHSAA football score.
Seriously.
That's about what we had for that Akron Outlet game. That was 26-0.
Yeah.
Which I think you saw Braden Knowles committed to Wittenberg.
Maybe I did.
The linebacker for Akron Outlet,
Yeah,
who was just a beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to that young man. Swing and a tip foul. Count now 1-1.
Yeah, the guy we kept saying looked like Micah Parsons.
Yes. Did they say he didn't get it?
I thought he did, but
I guess they said no, and it's just going to be a free base. Not that it really matters. But, I mean, let him play. Let's see what happens. The 1-1. Foul off towards the right side, and this one is going to get down in the bullpen.
Fultz throws like Jeremy Moore.
Refresh my memory.
From Mount?
Yes.
I just noticed it. So his little brother plays for one of the teams at Diamond Boys, Caden Moore. I don't know why. It just like the way he threw that one just screamed Jeremy Moore at me.
I see it. Here's the 1-2. Up and in, and we are even.
He pitched in one of the games against BW, I think, on your channel last year.
That game and that day was just such a blur.
Yeah.
You know the story behind that one, right?
No, I haven't.
I'll have to tell you the story here at between innings, as it's a really bizarre story.
Oh, gosh.
Count it 2-2 here. The pitch from Fultz. In there for strike 3 looking, and the side is retired. And we're going to see if that's going to do it or not. I think we're going to have a conversation about if we're going to continue this game or not.
Appears it's done. Yeah.
And I would have to agree with that. 28-6 is going to be your
That is
final. But going back to the story of that BW doubleheader, we had an hour notice to do the game because we got there and the huddle cam was fried.
Oh.
We got there. I had to go back to my dorm, which was Ketchum, get all my stuff, wake up J-Rod from his slumber, and drag him to Rayfield Rogers.
Huh.
But 28-6 your final. What a bizarre day of baseball here. A 9-inning game turned into a 5.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. I think there was a mercy rule put into effect. I'm not exactly sure what the ruling on why the stoppage of the game was. Obviously, there could be many things, whether mercy rule, whatever it may be. But it looked like that Coach Coles was trying to get an explanation.
And I think it would have to be a mercy rule here. I mean, once again, it's 28-6 as your final score today. Do we need more baseball to see that? No.
I mean, you got, I believe everyone on KSU got 5 at-bats. Most guys on OVCC got 3 at-bats. I think half their lineup did. So you don't need more at-bats for your guys. Your pitching staff, you don't want to run them thin, especially knowing that you got 2 games tomorrow, weather allowing that to happen. I think, it's a good showing from both teams. I think defensively and pitching needs to be cleaned up for OVCC, and you have a good chance to compete in that game. It wasn't like offensively, they had a really good chance. You put up 6 runs, couple doubles, good base running. Their base running was phenomenal. They took bases, they took the extra ones. They weren't making poor decisions. It was super smart base running, aggressive. I just think if that game defensively changes, like if you see what Penn State Fayette did against KSU Tusk defensively and give that to OVCC, this would have been a totally different game.
And I would have to agree completely, as once again, this was just an obscure day all the way around. Your players of the game presented by SmeeSports, it is going to go to the entire lineup of KSU Tusk. I don't think one guy did that much more than anybody else.
That's a lot of interviews.
I mean, I have to get the holy name by 4, so
Oh.
don't hold thy breath on that one. But I think everybody is a part of this. I think everybody's a player of the game, in my opinion. Everybody played their role perfectly, and that is why they won today. This wasn't, hey, Wyatt Bohannon hit 3 home runs, or Jeremy Patchett went 10 for 10 at the plate, or something along those lines, or something obscure. This was all those guys, 1 through 9, and then their subs did their job, top to bottom. They went out there, played team baseball, and they won a good game in convincing fashion.
Yeah, I think they did. They played phenomenal all around. Their offense was there. They took opportunities. That's the big thing I harp on all the time with my guys. Team USA has been big on it because they've had a lot of runners left on base. They've drawn 40 walks to 2 strikeouts through the tournament. They have been phenomenal, and they haven't been able to score 40 runs, obviously. So when you get guys on, you got to get them in. It was a great job from KSU Tusk. I don't know how many free passes they had and how many of those guys scored, but it's at least 50%.
And I would have to agree, just to count it out real quick. Hit by a pitch, walk, hit by a pitch, walk, hit by a pitch, hit by another pitch, walk, hit by pitch, walk. 14 free passes, and that doesn't even include the errors.
Yeah, and
You want the error tally too?
no, not at all. No, because errors make me real upset. I get touchy with errors. But I firmly believe that half of those 14 free passes scored. There was a lot of guys scoring, not a lot of guys left on base. They made their opportunities count. It was a great job from KSU's Tusk offense. And Caden Castillo came out, didn't have the best day, but forced them to put the ball in play and force the action. They forced the issue. Knowing that he had that massive lead, there's no reason not to.
And before I toss it back down to the field here, just want to reiterate this. Not just those guys coming around to score, but some of those free passes, scored runs. My closing thought from up here, if you want to see a team that is in the middle of a revival that is going to turn heads, not just this year, but in the future, follow Kent State Tuscarawas. Coach Cole Morozek has done such a nice job with this program. From 9 wins to 15, already up to 10, and you still have a month and a half left to go in the season. This is a special group of kids, a special coaching staff, and at a school that is dying for a champion like this, I think the Golden Eagles have found their golden goose.
I think they have. I think this was a really good job from Coles. I think he has a good chance to build off of this. I think he has a 5-year plan in place, and he's getting close to fulfilling it.
All in all, Kent State Tuscarawas take a bow, 28-6, one of their best wins ever in program history, and it's off to the weekend to try to find wins 11, 12, and 13 on the season. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and TikTok, SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn, and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As well, go down below and subscribe. While there is no added cost, it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports as we cover the best of the Cleveland and Stark County areas. A lot of great games coming up very, very soon, and that'll start just as soon as Sunday. Sunday is going to be a fun day. Another doubleheader for us over at Ron Model Field. It is going to be the Tri-C Triceratops taking on the Lansing Community College Stars. 12 p.m., 3 p.m. First pitches here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Then heading into next week, weather permitting, on St. Patty's Day, a little softball action, 11-1, KSU Tusk against Teal. If that game gets canceled, you could probably see us at Ron Model Field as Tri-C takes on BW's JV team. 5 and 8 first pitches up there at the Mott. Following that, I believe the rest of the week is blank, but we could have a game on Friday night. That one is still up in the air. I don't know. A lot of it comes down to schedules, and if some scrimmages are moved around and there's a good game and a scrimmage locally that we want to see, we might decide to, hey, we're going to do some scrimmage baseball and see what happens there. Then you go to the weekend. Next Sunday, we could be back with KSU Tusk. I could have some Mount baseball. We will see. But next Monday, the 23rd, the OHSAA returns to the SmeeSports YouTube channel, and it's going to be a good one. The Orange Block M versus the Orange Block M. It's Marlington and Massillon. Softball at 5 p.m. over at Marlington High School. Should be a fun one, but that'll do it for us here today at Crusher Stadium here in Avon. Once again, thank you to everybody with OVCC for their kindness and allowing us to use the box, along with, of course, the actual Lake Erie Crushers. A beautiful facility, but I'm glad that we were able to, A, showcase them, but also, B, use them to our own advantage.
Yeah, it was a great time. I appreciate the Crushers having us. Been here so many times, never got a chance to be up in the box. It's beautiful up here. It's been a great time. It's a good game. It was fun to be here.
And I'll tell you what, OVCC, if you want us at a couple more games to be up here at Crusher Stadium, we'll see if everything can work out that way. And the main thing that I want to see, will the power stay on next time, and will the Ethernet stay on? As that was weird, but you know what? We had a good broadcast, just a day in the life, and we were able to give the fans at home, whether they be relatives or not, some good action to watch on their Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I hope they had a good time. Pleasure calling the game with you, and hopefully the weather's better next time.
Yep, safe travels back down to Canton, enjoy Hudson and Hoover tonight.
It's going to be a good one.
That'll do it for us here at Forefront Field at Crusher Stadium. 28-6 your final. KSU Tuscarawas gets the dominating win over the Ohio Valley Community College Bulldogs. For Bryce Fisher, I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Avon, and we will see you again next time. This has been College Baseball on SmeeSports.